Hey guys, what's up? Happy Saturday.
Howdy.
What's up, everybody? Hope your Saturday's going well. It is 11 o'clock in the morning here in the state of Kentucky. That's where we all are, but we're in separate locations because of, quarantine and we're being responsible. So, where's everybody from in the chat? I always love finding that out when
See a couple of familiar faces or names.
you can see faces.
Michael.
You've got power.
Freddie.
So with me, with me this Saturday, I've got Wonder Maddie. Look, we don't have an intro, but I figured
when did we get gifts?
I got you, girl.
Oh, we get it up, buddy.
I've got Dan without fear. Yeah,
Hey,
we can just leave. We can just leave this up the entire time.
Yeah,
this is probably
copyright. I'm sure we'll get a copyright infringement if you leave it up too long.
And the amazing Amanda.
Thank you. I like that one.
So now that it's quarantine, Amanda, are you going to finish watching Buffy?
Yes, I should do that. I mean, I finished watching almost all of Avatar that just came out, but I love that.
I couldn't find a Wolverine one for myself, so I had to go with the next best thing,
Oh yeah,
which is Guts.
Yeah, because all the we're in quarantine, we need to assign homework for everyone of stuff to do that we haven't.
Yes, and
I watched Empire finally, and I've got only one movie left for Star Wars, so I'm killing my.
I thought you meant the TV show Empire.
I thought too. I was like,
Amanda's ahead of you. Empire's only 40 years old this week, so
yeah.
So Amanda's got 20 years before.
I'm really
that's true.
High in the 8 ball, yeah.
We got San Francisco, Germany, Brooklyn, Berlin, Chicago, Chi-Town, England, Pittsburgh, Calgary.
Got a whole here.
And
I
love
all these hello to each other.
Quick question: what is your favorite pizza place?
Ooh.
Domino's.
Whatever place it was that Maddie took us. I can't remember the name of it.
We never made it to Lou Malnati's while we were there. So.
Western Australia.
Wow.
Nebraska, Yorkshire. Who do you think the special guest? The special guest is not. It's not gonna be.
Oh, another Kentucky.
Oh, what's up, Jessica? Bluegrass.
Where
State.
are you from? Where do you live?
What part of the Bluegrass State?
Wait. Let's what city?
Maddie, you're getting a little bit spooky.
I just know a lot of Ashcrafts.
Maybe what?
Wait, maybe
That's her last name.
Oh, her last name. I was like, what does that mean?
Oh, no.
Orlando.
What's up, Brent?
All over.
Bulgaria.
Nice.
Florida.
She's in Lexington. York. Oh, I'm originally from Harrisburg. What's up, DBZ? I graduated from East Penn High School. You know where East
Go ahead and tell him your social security too, Amanda.
Yeah, I don't like the longest 60 seconds of his life. I'm sure this is riveting content. You're gonna tell us where you're from, and we're gonna say it out loud.
Yep. From Lexington. So now I work in Lexington, Jessica. Yay!
Don't tell people that.
Oh, well, I didn't say where I worked.
Man, you go ahead and give him your credit card account number to Austria.
So what's Omar's basement is in.
It's in the
address right now.
Swamp Country. What is what's
Delta? Are you in the Delta?
I think that's an Animal Crossing.
Oh,
Swamp Country. Nova Scotia, Canada. Amanda, they're saying it's 4 p.m. in the UK. You can drink.
Thank you.
They apparently have seen our shows on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm not going to drink until 2 p.m. when we have our D&D session. So you're out of luck.
Hello, Omar. This is my first time here. Goodbye, Near Mint Podcast Virginity.
Oh.
That should be a T-shirt.
I don't know about that.
That'll be on the back. Wait, no, I don't know if I like that idea.
Oh, what is he saying? Oh, York is the Baltimore, PA. People are starting riots in York now.
Is that where the Red Lobster thing was?
Oh,
yes, the Red Lobster fight.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I lived in Enola, Pennsylvania. My friend from college, Allison, is from York, though. So I've visited York quite a lot of times and driven past it, when I took the turnpike to school. So
there you go.
Yeah.
So last week, I can't. Oh man, was it somebody? Martin. It was Martin. He had this brilliant idea that my name and Melanie's name together makes the word Omni, and he was like, "You all should wear T-shirts." And I'm like, "Oh my god, that's so brilliant!"
It is brilliant. Wait, Dan, you can stand up and tell us if you're wearing pants or not.
I laughed so much with like yours and Andrew's part of that video. Like,
it was great.
Ella and I were watching together. I was like, "This is just beautiful. This is so good."
I realized I went like 90% in that video because if I'd gone 100%, I'd have realized that my screen was going to be on the screen in the frame, and I'd have created a fake Zoom with all Transformers, or all Quintessons, like the Quintesson Judge. But you do things and you realize after the fact what you could have done to make them better. That's why, going back to Empire, George Lucas reshot the end of Empire after it was already in theaters.
Good morning, everybody. Happy anniversary to y'all. What's up, Ray?
Thanks.
Hey, Ray.
Hey, Ray.
So yes,
Ray.
we go ahead.
I was saying, Omar gave me my Christmas present finally, so thank you for the figurine.
It wasn't like I was holding it hostage. It was because we've been in quarantine.
I know. I need to. I don't know. Figure out a way to get that Gail Simone Wonder Woman omnibus.
I've got that and Star Wars here for you, and something else. Batman and Robin. Omnibus.
Oh man, Star Wars.
Yeah. Omar finally pulled the trigger on Wolverine Omni, along with Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2 and Astonishing X-Men. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. So we have been doing this show for 4 years now. It doesn't really feel like it. But that was just the panel show. So the panel show started 4 years ago. Then about 2 years ago, we started doing old reader, new reader. And then I started focusing more on the collected edition side of things. So it's kind of like an all-around anniversary reunion thing. So yeah, it's a pretty special time. We've done over 1,000 videos on the channel. That also doesn't feel like it, which is kind of weird. But I guess when you're making, for the last few months, 7 videos a week, I guess it does add up. And then sometimes 2 videos a day. So
yep.
It all adds up. I figured you all would be tired of at least my voice by now. But I don't know. One more thing I want to say before we get the Q&A started is thank you to my cast. They will. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. Whoops.
They're going to be here, but also I like how you didn't ask about Rob.
Yeah.
Melanie, Andrew, Tina, and Rob are. This thing can only do 6 people at a time, so we will be interchanging guests as we go through. So one of the other things I was going to say is that on Tuesday, May 26th, is that the 26th?
Yep.
Somebody
It is.
the calendar?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, May 26th at noon, I will be interviewing Steve Jeppy from Diamond Comics Distribution Center. We'll be having a conversation here. It's going to be a live interview, so if you all want to pop in the chat and ask questions, that would be nice.
How does it feel to be an evil monopoly?
Okay, maybe word it a little bit differently.
I mean, that's just my suggestion,
But he'll be joining me for a live chat, so that was pretty nice. So
yes.
Poor Rob can't catch a break. I don't think anybody's ever said that about him. Glad Amanda could make it for this episode. Oh, another live interview. Yeah, man. That's a dangerous guest. I can deal with it.
Didn't you have to give questions ahead of time or give an idea?
I gave them ideas as to what the things we were going to be talking about on Tuesday would be, but we'll see. It'll be an interesting conversation, that's for sure. So I want to know a little bit of the history behind Diamond, and then why decisions were made, and how things are going to be going moving forward. So I can't ask him about Uncanny X-Men Volume 4 or 5 because that doesn't exist yet.
Can you ask DBZ's question? How does it
feel to be responsible for the death of so many comic stores? That's the thing, like, how do I put it? Last week when I was talking to Eric Larson, I mentioned something and we both knew what I was talking about. There was a specific company that decided to jump the gun ahead of time and start going outside of the Diamond distribution center. That was a huge mistake because
Wait, is there a reason you're being coy with the thing that everybody knows?
They may be watching.
Okay.
And that to me was probably the most insulting thing that you could do to a comic book store, because their distribution centers are comic book places where you get online retailers. So it would be like you giving your information to your competitor. I'm gonna need 30 copies of this book. That's just
that happens a lot, though. I mean,
yeah, but not since Diamond, not since all of this. And there was a reason why this monopoly started. But anyway, save those questions for Tuesday, because that's a really good question, and I do want to talk about that and bring that up.
Really good question.
I can't believe the lawyer's asking someone to be specific.
No. This is a specific time. Generalities are other times. Specifics on Saturdays, generalities on Sundays.
So yes, if you have questions for the chat, please let us know. Thank you so much for the super chat, Chess Rockwell. I've always been a fan of your name, by the way. Congrats on the 4 years.
That look, by the way.
He looks very sophisticated. I like the hat.
Yeah.
That's the style that Rob tries to go for, but it just doesn't work. Oh, you've never... Oh, when he comes on, I gotta find it. I had this beautiful GIF one time. It's a Denzel when he puts on a hipster hat, and he's like, "What you think you look like?" And then it's the Steve Urkel with the hipster hat, what you actually look like, and he hates that thing. So, congrats on 4 years. Really enjoyed the channel over the last year. Keep up the good work. Glad you all are safe and doing well. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
we got another super chat.
Wow.
I didn't know that was going to be a thing.
Where are they doing that? That would be some. Is it going to be live streamed on Instagram or YouTube
Tonight? Oh, I'll watch it.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Did Josh Gad get them together? Because he's been getting together a lot of the 80s and 90s like casts of like old movies and TV shows and stuff recently due to the quarantine. So
I saw that.
Yeah, I think he had Back to the Future, and it's pretty awesome.
Now's
the best time to catch up on that stuff.
Is Corey Feldman back?
Of course.
He's been back. Have you not seen his band?
Oh, I've seen his band. I just avoid it. Omar, do you think it's really nearly the end of IDW? Do you think someone else will take over? I don't think it's any secret that they have had money trouble for years.
Well, and they're VC owned, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And part of that is because, Jesus Christ, they own just about every IP from our childhood. Yeah. And if you're not doing anything with that IP, like if they're sitting on G.I. Joe, they got Ghostbusters.
Yeah, those licenses cost
a ton of money. Yeah. So, I mean, they have their own thing, and luckily, I have no idea how well Lock and Key did, so maybe that helped the TV show.
Right.
But they've let go a lot of people this past week. I don't know what that means. I'm pretty sure that means we're going to have cancellations as far as monthly comic books, but I don't think they're going to go anywhere. I think it's just going to be different and more focused. What time on Tuesday? That interview will be at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dude, I'm loving Thorgal. I'm so glad I picked those up. Or actually, Cinebook sent me those. And because they saw a video that I did on Conan, they were like, "You like Conan? You got to check this out." So big shout out to my boy Frank from over there. I think they're based out of France. That was really sweet. So they're translating these books for the first time in America. They're not hardcovers, but they're freaking beautiful. Has Omar or any of you read the Batman Beyond on whose Batwoman identity is?
Is that a newer run or?
Yeah.
Isn't that the Dan Jurgens run? Like based out of the Future's End storyline? I haven't read any of it. No.
I haven't read any Batman Beyond comics. I've been wanting to, but I haven't picked any up.
Sorry, I'm looking at IDW's account statements now.
Uncanny Omar, could you maybe ask David Gabriel if it was ever considered to put Ultimate Spider-Man in these giant 50-issue compendium books like Image did? That was one of their very first Omnis, and it was a Barnes & Noble exclusive, and then they re-released it as a Marvel thing. So I think they just like the normal standard omnibus format. That's what they stick to. So yeah, we're gonna have to get pizza and watch Ninja Turtles tonight if that's what's happening.
It is a pizza party watch.
I guess that's what I'm gonna do tonight.
Yeah, you could do a live reaction while you're eating pizza to the YouTube.
You gotta have both open.
It's they have watch party. I've seen Josh Gad.
Yeah.
Josh Gad, is that his name?
Yeah.
Olaf? Is that Olaf?
Yeah, you can
yeah.
watch party with the Russo brothers too. They're doing their own like film school. It's pretty awesome.
Damn, you know
We need
what?
a watch party of those 4 Batman movies. In the 90s.
You want to join us on Wednesday, Maddie? We can watch one of those shitty movies on Wednesday.
I think we're gonna make them choose between one of the Batmans.
Okay, you do know that anytime you do one of those, I have to be invited.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
My favorite.
It's an open invitation. You know, that makes YouTube really hard these days. Yes, the quarantine sucks. But on top of that, now you're competing against people like Josh Gad, who's got the reunion of Goonies, and we're doing a live chat at the same time. Now you've got my boy from The Office having his own Good Morning show or whatever it is.
Have you heard about that? A lot of people are angry at him right now. So his last his last episode was this week, I think, and news has broken that he actually sold Some Good News to Viacom CBS. He's not going to be the host. They're going to go, but he will make appearances. But they're basically, so now it's become this corporate thing that you can only watch via CBS All Access behind a paywall. And a lot of people are like, you missed the point about what made Some Good News so great. It was John Krasinski, who is an excellent personality in general. And then this feel good, like, home done, aspect of it. His kids did the drawing for the, logo. You have all the Zooms, his famous friends coming in, the videos of all the people that are just like through their phones. It was that down home feel. You're not going to get that when Viacom CBS takes over.
Man, it goes to show you that there's not genuine people out on YouTube. So if anybody from Viacom is watching, please shoot me an email. I will sell this motherfucker.
I was going to say, like,
yes, I think a lot of YouTube channels.
I think he knows exactly what he was going for. I think Viacom may have gotten a little bit of wishful thinking in that deal.
I think they think, well, people will follow it. Yeah, they're wrong about that.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, when people offer free services like that and somebody notices, oh, this is getting quite a following, that's when that's when people start phoning, hey, you can't have free concerts. You could be making money. You can't be drawing for free. You got to get with Jim Lee so he can auction it off and we can, take a percentage of that and then give the rest to a comic book store. It's ridiculous, but it happens.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is not the show for talking about how I think we all missed our great humanitarian socialist moment, and we're just doubling down on free market capitalism. And
that's exactly what that's it. That's right.
All right.
Welcome to my show.
Yes, welcome to my show.
You don't need it. So the question is, for those that are listening that are not watching, because I learned that a lot of people like to drive and listen to us, should I get Guardians of the Galaxy by Abnett and Lanning Omni or splurge for the 3 War of the King Omnis? Maddie, this is a 2-part answer, but what do you think?
I haven't read Guardians by Abnett, so I can't speak to that. I really enjoy the War of Kings Omnis, but I will say they're not as good, I think, to a lot of people's opinions, as Annihilation Conquest, and plus it's expensive. Like, I've been looking to buy them purely just to finish my collection because I really enjoy the whole arc. But I will say it depends on what you really enjoy and how much money you feel like spending. Because I'm waiting to buy those Omnis, but I'm waiting for a good deal.
I will. Every one of those issues of Guardians of the Galaxy are collected within the 3 Road to War of the Kings, War of the Kings, and Realm of the Kings. So you don't need them.
In that case.
So,
that's
sorry, I thought you knew that.
No.
But I will say that to me, I think Annihilation Conquest was top. Like, that was Annihilation was solid. Annihilation Conquest was perfect. And then, actually, I really enjoyed War of the Kings too. So I don't know. Maybe after a reread, I'll have to. Well, speaking of Annihilation, that's what we're doing on Old Reader, New Reader on Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard. Brought to you by Viacom.
Hey, Melanie.
Chowing down.
Howdy.
Paul Baker's questions.
Honestly, there's a lot. It depends on what you're really into. First Second offers a wide variety of books and styles. If you want something, biographical, they have those options. Like with the Andre the Giant book is really good. I think Fun Home is another like biographical one that's really good.
Wasn't George Sakai's book in that published by First Second?
Yeah. I think I would recommend. I'm always going to forget this name of her book. But the sci-fi epic by Tilly Walden, I really like.
On a Sunbeam.
On a Sunbeam, thank you. That's
I got it.
I'm gonna jump into.
I need to make a list. Yeah,
but honestly, you can't go wrong. I haven't read a single First Second book I haven't liked.
I actually, because of your recommendation for a second, I just got in the mail Truxus Maximus, which looks like a really awesome.
IDW.
Yeah. A really awesome book to read. And then another Tilly Walden, Are You Listening? I also got that as well.
That's good too.
Yes. And I think that Rainbow Rowell's
you got Pumpkinheads, right?
I love Rainbow Rowell.
Very good.
Young adult author. Her fangirl book is literally me in college. Yeah, so I was like, I love her stuff, all her books, so I had to get her graphic novel. But
so now Melanie has joined the chat, so I got to do her little intro clip. Oh yeah. There you go, baby.
Guys, I've introduced my girls to Sailor Moon. My oldest daughter thinks she's annoying. I was like, well, yeah, at first. And then she was a little. But my younger loves it. And we got all the Sailor Scout plushies out and playing with it.
Oh, that's the best.
Oh, goodness. It's so I need to watch all the old ones on Blu-ray. And then watch Sailor Moon Crystal. And then see the movie in September. That's my goal.
Man, and all those movies are so good.
That's my goal.
Good question. We have a question for Omar on the show.
That's what I was going to bring up. She's so handsome.
Good genes. The Spaniards came. I actually have an answer for this because I get asked this quite often.
That's my husband, everyone.
Damn it. Thank you, Elliot.
You should get.
I wanted him to show his face. I was like, you've never. No one knows
what you look like.
They've seen his body because sometimes he walks around behind you.
Well, yeah, or I'll ask him to bring me a drink after the show. If you're watching this and you would like to make me a cup of coffee, that would be great, Elliot.
That's what I picked up. That's why I'm late. I picked up Omar a shake.
She did.
Somebody paid for my Starbucks. That's never happened to me. I'm so happy. It makes me feel so loved.
Did you pay for it behind you and pay it forward?
No. What's the point? I saved money. I want to appreciate their gift.
See, I started another movement. It's pay it backwards, where I tell the people as I'm buying. Oh, the guy behind me got this. Yeah, that's my movement that I started. Y'all can go ahead and move that hashtag. Pay it backwards.
Oh my God.
Dan, here's a question for you.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I forgot.
No, go back.
No, it's just
we have three of us at the control today.
I know. You know what? I'm not. You guys do it. Omar, Dan, Maddie, Amanda, and Melly. Have any of you watched or read anything to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Empire Strikes Back this week? Dan,
I watched it the first time, last
week.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier. There's a good post on StarWars.com about the reshoots that they did after the movie premiered because George Lucas wasn't happy with the ending. Which somehow was a story I hadn't heard before. So
do we have? Is that the ending we see in now the later releases of it?
Yeah, basically apparently there weren't enough establishing shots to show that Luke and Leia weren't on the Falcon or on where they were in relation to Han and to Lando and Chewie.
Gotcha.
So they basically filmed some more model shots to establish that they were, the Falcon was docked on the ship they were in and, going off.
Huh.
Oh.
Because, it's kind of like the special edition shot where the main thing they added other than making the visors on the snowspeeders less transparent was a shot of Darth Vader saying, "Tell my Star Destroyer to prepare for my arrival," because you didn't know he left Bespin, except obviously he did.
Did you see the people react to the line, "No, I am your father"? Somebody had recorded a screening of it back in when it originally premiered. It was trending on Twitter, And the reaction of everybody, because I mean, you got to think this is before the internet, right? Before forums, before anything was other than word of mouth, and it's one of the early screenings. How fans were freaking out, like, "What? What do you mean it's his father? I give up on this stupid story."
I'm gonna go home and post a. I'm gonna go home and write a letter.
Yeah, they couldn't post anything.
Can you imagine what the internet was like? Like if the internet had existed back then. This is an insult to Star Wars fans of the first movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like people, people like to complain.
Everybody was just telegraphing,
Dan, now that they rebooted Transformer Comics, do you think IDW will do Ultra Magnus wrong again, like the last series? I like that spin on Ultra Magnus.
I was going to say I dispute the form of the question because that's my favorite Ultra Magnus. But keep in mind that the way they did Ultra Magnus in IDW was, if you haven't read that and you don't want to get spoiled, stop listening for a second. But, it was more than one character. So I thought that was brilliant, a brilliant way of explaining away the different characterizations that different writers had given him over the years. So I liked it. I thought it was great.
There is a name I always like to see in the live chat, Psycho Cleveland. I haven't seen this guy in forever. Hola, mi amigas. Only talking to the ladies, not talking to us. Classic Psycho Cleveland style.
I always thought his name was Psycho Cleveland. When I heard you say it downstairs, it's Cycle.
Yeah, like a bicycle.
Today. Well, you say
kill.
Psycho.
Like
Timmy, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Which one did you start with? Are you starting from the beginning or just a different one?
Maddie, I'm on chapter 18.
Oh gosh.
I don't want to feed it. It's so much fun.
You'll have to message me when you're done.
Oh. Hey guys, I have a final
No,
Fantasy
Elliot.
question.
Oh my god.
They're talking about Final Fantasy VII, Dan. You're not going to get a word in.
No. I have a very, very basic Final Fantasy VII. Is the Final Fantasy franchise available on anything except Sony platforms?
Yes.
No.
Well, not
7. Not 7 remake.
No, just any of the Final Fantasies.
Yeah, most of them are.
Yeah, you can. Okay. I played a bunch of the when I was going through my playthrough from like the first one to now. A lot of them you can play on Steam or Switch. Okay. Like Switch, you can play the remastered versions of like 8 and 9 and 12.
Okay, so, Warren was asking me the other day, and I just didn't know. So, since I've never actually played a Final Fantasy
if he needs to know which one he'd like to play, which format, don't worry, I can help him out.
All right.
I'll just add one more thing about Final Fantasy, then I'll stop. I did have an emotional connection to the original Final Fantasy VII, and this one I'm like, oh, this is so
Amanda, you would probably like
exciting.
It. I know that Corey has your PlayStation 4, but
he has every console.
It's Memorial Day weekend. Just get yourself a PS4.
Right?
Yeah, as you do.
People without kids. Just buy one.
Wait, you guys, they have kids, Omar.
Maddie's like, just buy a PS4.
No, I know Maddie have kids.
I just want Amanda to treat herself, okay? I'm
treat
sure I love watching Final Fantasy VII.
Figurine.
I mean,
what?
He's the best. Katarsh has never married Aang.
Let me see.
God, thank you. Do you agree with me, Maddie?
Yes, Spoilers.
I'm a Zutara.
Yes, Zutara. I've written some fanfic about that. I didn't think she should end up with Aang.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Of course you did. There was a question about Berserk Volume 5. I don't know if I'll be getting advanced copies until this quarantine is over, because they are based out of Portland, and so are their warehouses. And right now, I think they're still on, not lockdown, but like limiting to what essential businesses are and things like that. But I'll shoot them an email to see what's going on. Talk to them, and hopefully I'll get it, because I also I'd love to have the Hellsing Deluxe Edition too, to see what that's about. I'm a big fan of those deluxe, and we're getting a Blade of the Immortal, one of the best manga ever, and I want to know if it's in the original Japanese format, or if it's in the American, because it's never been released here in America in the original, Japanese style reading of right to left. It's only been released left to right. So it's going to be pretty interesting how they'll handle the deluxe edition. Omar can't stop the three ladies with spoilers. It's a no-win battle. They're pretty good about not spoiling.
I just did chapter 18, and it's emotional. And I agree with. Oh shoot, who was it that said
And
he doesn't want to?
5 million.
He doesn't want to stop playing.
Oh,
chapter 18 too. But
Oh,
anyway,
is that what Hayden said? No, Hayden, this is a 15-year-old children's TV show. And it's not really a spoiler if you watch Legend of Korra, which came out after.
Yeah.
As someone up in Jesse Christian said, if we didn't have the Aang and Katara, we wouldn't get their kids, which I get. Tenzin's pretty
No, dude. I've never heard of Fan of the Immortal being fan service. I'm serious. It is solid. It is samurai action mixed with like fantasy elements. It's got probably the most gorgeous death scenes I've ever seen in a manga. Like, they're beautifully drawn. Because he doesn't ink everything, so like these splash pages of when he's decapitating people, they're all done in just pencils, and they look like a piece of wonderful art that you would hang up. That's my quick review.
Dan, did you ever watch Avatar?
Mm-mm. No, I think I've seen an episode here or there, and it's one of those that like is so universally acclaimed by people who like that sort of thing and not, that I always say, oh, I'll watch that with my kids, and then there's
you know what? How about have you guys ever watched?
You can't. It doesn't compete with Dude Perfect apparently for attention. So,
well,
Have you guys ever watched Justice League the animated and Justice League Unlimited?
Oh yeah,
because Booster Gold.
Because he only has one episode the first season of Unlimited. Oh, okay. I have a student when I'm at work at school, and we've been watching through the episodes, and we just finished the season of Unlimited. And Omar, you're right. They wrap up the Batman Beyond story, and that was really cool. It's, pretty messed up what Amanda Waller did to him, but to his father. But I really appreciated that. Oh,
DC has got some great cartoons. Honestly, all the Justice League stuff I really like. The new DC.
I didn't like the first
Girls,
season.
I was gonna say
everyone should be watching DC Superhero Girls, the newer iteration.
Oh, me and Alicia are reading through the comic.
Oh, please watch the show on Netflix. Please, Amanda too. Please watch it with Lyndon.
We need to finish She-Ra.
Superhero Girls.
Not as Dan.
Yeah, no, me and Lyndon already watched that.
Well, no, everyone should. Like, I've been recommending to everyone.
Those characters so much.
Like, they do a really fun job. And also, everyone, adults, please watch Harley Quinn. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been funny to watch.
Oh my God. Why are we talking about anything else except for Stargirl right now?
I know. Stargirl
we love Stargirl. We talked about it yesterday. Yeah.
Well, we talked about it very briefly. I was a little drunk by the time we got to it. But
Dan, watch Stargirl.
You should watch it.
Is this CW Stargirl?
No. It's technically DC Universe Stargirl, and you can tell. You can watch on CW the day after it airs on DC Universe, and you can tell it's not just a CW
because
show.
The quality is very good.
So much. Oh, and Joel McHale. I'm getting so much community right now between being on Netflix, the cast reading. If anyone hasn't watched that on YouTube, go watch it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, that was fun.
But seeing Joel McHale as Starman was awesome, and then Luke Wilson does a great job as what's his name?
Pat Dugan.
Pat Dugan. Yeah. Stripesy.
Man,
did you ever?
The girl is amazing too. I think I looked her up. She's a real gymnast, so a lot of that stuff she's doing, she's like a Tom Holland. She's doing it herself, which I think I already.
Can't go without an episode.
That's really cool. She's doing her.
herself.
It was wonderful. I really liked it, dude. The first 10 minutes of that, it's JSA. And you're like, oh my God, it's Hourman. Oh my God, it's Wildcat.
Yeah, I was making dinner and I heard him.
That's awesome.
I was dorking out, man. It was great.
Same. And it's funny
Dan,
immediately. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I thought, Dan, this would be a good question for you.
That was Simon Furman's Unwritten Law and Bob Budiansky. And you know what? They're not the only people who get to write Transformers. So, it's all in who's writing it. And I think the way that IDW approached it after they got past the RC kerfuffle with just some people prefer to present a different way is a great way to do it.
Nice. Man, I need to read Transformers.
It's
Again, I'm telling you,
that's
Transformers
that's definitely overly simplifying it, but because they actually go into it. I mean, it's really good. I think the way latter-day IDW addressed that was really interesting and excellent.
My daughter loves the relationships the robots have. Like,
yeah.
she loves Cyclonus and Tailgate. That is like her favorite couple of all time. And I'm like,
well, and
it's really cute because Cyclonus is like this samurai warrior and Tailgate's like this little dude. That's like it's well written.
Well, and that's part of what makes that latter-day IDW stuff so good is that at the same time that the female Transformers are becoming part of the story, the relationships are also becoming part of the story, but it's not just that the female Transformers are introduced to create relationships with the other, quote unquote male Transformers. It doesn't matter one bit. So I think that's great.
What's the situation with the DC Deluxe editions? And
let me tell you,
it's they're the Rebirth line is over. Like they're the only one they are continuing is Batman. And that's it.
They look so good on a shelf.
Oh, I'm looking at them right now, right here.
I know.
and I miss them.
And what is happening with this?
Really? Not when they were talking about Avatar, but when I'm talking about DC Rebirth.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wait, who did that?
Dan
did that.
Oh, okay.
Man, I miss Rebirth.
Dan is paying me back for when we did a Transformers episode. I showed this gift, which is the greatest gift ever.
That's amazing gift.
Oh my god.
Wait,
I love that gift.
Ryan has a good question that I wanted to see Maddie's opinion on about Batwoman, about Ruby Rose quitting.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, I heard
beautiful name, Ruby Rose.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that's her model name, right? Or her pop star name.
I think it's like, yeah, it's an alias.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's sad that she wasn't able to stay. I mean, they haven't really released all the info about why, right?
And they won't.
They won't. I mean, because she did a joint statement, so it wasn't like it just came from them.
It's sad that she has to leave, but I never, I liked the Batwoman show from what I saw, but I never really, really connected with her as Batwoman.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Ruby Rose, but I never really got Batwoman vibe from her. And honestly, I would like to see somebody else. And I don't know if any of you follow. I know some of us are on Twitter, not everybody is, but the actress who plays Rosa on Brooklyn Nine-Nine was like
Beatrice, yeah.
Yeah, she tweets reads up on Batwoman because she really wants to be Batwoman.
She would.
That would be a great fit.
She'd be great.
So,
there's somebody else too that was tweeting I really want this role. And she was in Krypton.
Yep, Stephanie Bridges.
Yeah, that's the actress
who plays Rosa. Yeah.
But with regard to you said you never really connected with it. And from day one in the Arrowverse, right?
She did,
they were
Sarah.
Skirting around,
Sarah.
Especially once they introduced Superman, certainly they were skirting around why don't we have Batman? And obviously it's because Green Arrow was portrayed as Batman as much as anything else.
Right.
But I was so surprised when they introduced Batwoman, because then it's like ha ha ha, ha, we're not avoiding this anymore, except we so are. It was just a weird move, and it was like, if you're not going to have Batman be a major character in this version of the universe, why would you introduce a Bat character at all?
And why wasn't it Nightwing?
Well,
and why wasn't it Nightwing? Hot Nightwing.
And I've never I enjoy Batwoman comics, but maybe it's just for me not being a huge really connected to her either. Have you read the Greg Rucka run? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the Greg Rucka and the Freddie J.H. Williams run is freaking phenomenal.
I feel
I enjoy the character a lot, but it just surprised me. It's like, how can you? Yeah, if you're, it just surprised me that they even went to that corner of the DC universe. Basically, is what it is. Because how do you invoke, 1/12 of the Batman family?
Yeah. And I'm confused because why, if you're going to, then just go ahead and show Batman. We get to see Superman, knowing we have a Superman.
Well, man, I have major Batman fatigue, so I don't mind at all that we don't have Batman.
No, me neither.
I haven't watched it. Yeah, it seems fun to just have Batwoman. I mean, to stand on her own. And the cartoon, the Justice League Unlimited, he's like, I'm not part of this. I'm not official team member. I gotta go off and do my own thing.
Well, I do wish Kevin Conroy is Batman.
Yeah. Batwoman, it just has a very different feel than the rest of the CW shows.
Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't always feel like it really makes sense with the rest of it. Like when she shows up, you're like,
weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, but it's.
Gotcha.
I think having a different actress in there could really breathe some life into that show, and I would like to see them switch some things up with it.
I've never been truly taken with her acting, and maybe that's my issue with
her. I think the best thing she did, and I hate to say this, was John Wick 2. And that was because she was mute in John Wick 2. And because she was horrible in she's, don't get me wrong, she's beautiful, but she was horrible in Orange Is the New Black, like as an actress. So when she got this role, I was like, which
character was she?
She was the one with the tattoos that was with
Piper.
Yeah.
She's a great gay thirst trap.
Yeah, that's what she.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, because there's certain like lesbians that are like wonderful gay thirst traps, and that's what she is. Like, look on lesbian TikTok. It's just a bunch of like really cool women like that.
Wait, is that a separate TikTok?
Let me write that down. I was gonna say, is this a secret place?
Are you saying thirst? Is it THIRST?
Yeah, like I'm thirsty. Like she's just.
Oh, okay.
She's sexy, but it doesn't mean she's a
Urban
great actress.
Dictionary.
But she's But she's attracting a certain type of she's attracting a certain type of audience.
Yay!
I do feel like a lot of people that think about characters that are in Gotham, like Batwoman, like Batman, see them as a certain way and miss what's the great thing about them from the comic books. And that's the same way I feel about Batman movies. I love Batman in comics. I love Batman animated movies. But like, you know, Batman in the live action movies recently, they see him as being this one type of just like solemn character. But that's not what I like about Batman.
Oh,
and I think when they went into Wake Batwoman, they're like, okay, we want to make just a female Batman, basically. Like, that's not what Batwoman is. And also, that's not what Batman is.
And that's better said than what I was getting to, which is part of the Bat family dynamic, is how these characters kind of grew out of the example of Batman and made choices to go different ways, you know? And you can't do that if you don't have a Batman. Then you just have a character who's a large chunk of whose motivation is just, well, we don't talk about that. And maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
This I remember hearing when she got casted. People were complaining that she wasn't enough of a lesbian. What does that even mean? You're right.
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot of gatekeeping even in the gay community for different actors.
Yes.
And that just happens a lot.
It happens
Yeah, and it's just, and I don't even have a good way to like justify it. That just happens a lot in the community.
Do we need to remind people that we had this movie called Scarface with nothing but white people with tans that were playing Cubans? I mean, we have gotten miles ahead of that.
Not Cuban?
Shut up.
Yeah, right. We have had a lot of that.
None of them dudes were Cuban. They were all white guys with tans, and I still like that movie.
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Michelle Pfeiffer was Cuban.
Now, where were we?
I don't know. We got
Or if you had to choose one comic book run by Peter David from Marvel, what would you choose? Hulk? No, gosh damn it, X Factor. No. Spider-Man 2099. Really? This is hard. Hulk. I'll go with Hulk.
Hang on though. You would really put that X Factor run up there at the very top?
His X Factor investigations? Absolutely, 100%.
Like from 72 on or 71
No. Volume 3 of X Factor. Okay. Like when he came back and it was Madrox and it was pretty much just it was almost like a Brubaker book. Like written about that. Oh dude, it is brilliant.
Somebody had a comment.
Dark Tower adaptation. I don't see that get enough love either.
They're making a remake of Scarface. Meow. Why?
Like with real Cubans?
I would say so.
You could not cast. You couldn't have that kind of cast anymore these days. People would destroy that studio. Like if they were even thinking about cast. What was the last thing that happened?
No, I'm pretty sure that they're casting Scarlett Johansson as Scarface.
Yes, my man. I'm so glad you brought that up. No, it was the character from Hellboy. People fucking were like, we're done with the studio. How they don't cast an Asian actor to play this character.
Oh, as in a character who's literally a demon to play Hellboy.
Well, no. It was like, but it didn't matter because that movie ended up sucking anyway.
Hey, that's the biggest problem they have with Hellboy, because that's not the biggest problem I have with Hellboy. There are just certain movies.
You know what? Remakes do not ruin the originals.
Yeah, no. Dan said that before.
Unless they try to retcon something, and then they can ruin the original.
No, because you can always ignore what came later.
Yeah, Transformers, the '80s animated movie, it doesn't ruin the newer ones. Don't ruin it.
Well, I mean, this goes back to Star Wars. It's like, sorry, folks, the prequels didn't ruin the originals. You can just ignore that if you really want to.
Yep.
Thank you, Alexi. I think he's asking if I could suggest some non-superhero, not manga books. That would be great. Some thick card covers that aren't out of print. I was gonna say, 2 years ago I did my top 20 favorite non-superhero collected editions, and I mentioned the Karl Barks and the Don Rose is more my style. Comics, absolutely. Usagi Yojimbo, if you've not read those. The Saga trade paperbacks, those aren't out of print.
Oh, which one?
In the Hellboy.
Oh, I never
universe.
saw the new one. Or
you're not missing out on
Have
anything.
I watched any Hellboy movies? I've never watched Hellboy. I just realized that.
Oh, the Guillermo del Toro ones are pretty solid, actually.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the original Hellboy.
Ooh, here's a good question. I want to know too.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to answer.
No.
They are all over the fourth world.
Man, I love them so much.
Seven Soldiers of Victory by Grant Morrison.
They are really cute.
I was going to say, didn't
They're
they
really good
figure
Justice League action
into
too.
Grant Morrison's JLA run too? Do I remember that right?
Big Barda did. Oh, no, you're
Okay.
right. Mr. Miracle shows up for a little while.
Man, can we just talk about how wonderful Big Barda
Slovakia.
is?
Dude, Black Sad. Love your little thing there. What is that thing called? One of you people.
Avatar.
Thank you, Dan.
But his name, and
his profile picture,
his title, his handle.
It's Black Sad though. It's one of the best comic books ever.
I really am enjoying the conversation between DBZ All-Star and Infinity Nexus reviews about people just being people, as he says, that it'd be organic, like the character is just who they are. They're gay
or disagree, but I also feel like that's an argument used often to like take the value out of what is a worthy story, because yes, people are just people, but race and gender does play a part in how their life goes and is affected. Yes. I do agree that sometimes it's just shoehorn thing, true.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's being a woman's still part of my story. It affects how my life goes. Being LGBT is still part of my story. It affects how my life goes. It's not shoehorned. It doesn't ruin a story because it's part of it.
Just if
like,
I
agree and disagree.
Yeah. And go ahead.
I was just going to say, that's what, Maddie, at least me, that's what I got from the conversation following it. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but like what you were saying. When I started writing this book, that maybe one day I'll write, that's back here with all my notes, like, it was really fun because I was concentrating on Allison as a character, and then all of a sudden, she was crushing on this girl in the hallway. And I'm like, oh, she's gay. I didn't know that. Neat. Like, seriously, because I'm all about writing from like getting to know the characters as real.
Yeah.
And it's almost like an imaginary friend. Like, she revealed to me without hitting me over the head that she's gay. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. That's how it feels in I feel like with D&D stories. You're like, oh, this is my character. Nate, Freddy,
I think
Omar
one of the
shoehorns things for real.
Yeah.
And you know what? The channel is suffering. Okay. Because
what? There's only 3 Peruvian viewers. My favorite example of, to me, like when a gay character is part of the story, and the fact that they're gay doesn't really add anything to the story, is the story of J.K. Rowling. How upset she was when she found out that in the movies they were going to reveal that Dumbledore had a love interest, right? And she was female. And she was like, "You can't do that. He's gay." And they were like, "What? What do you mean he's gay?"
I don't want to talk about J.K. Rowling.
Well, I'm just saying that's one of my
because I don't think she does a good job of doing that either. I think she.
Well, no. But I think that's as a writer, you don't like. She never wrote there wasn't anything that she wrote that happened to make people figure out that he was gay. I just think she just wrote the character, knew who the character was, and because she had a love for the character, she immediately got upset when somebody tried to change the character in the movie version. I remember that being a big deal. Like,
yeah, but that cuts both ways. I mean, because I think the original creator of a character gets to decide their backstory, whether or not that shows in demonstrable ways in the story that they're in, especially for side characters, right?
Yeah.
The issue is the way that got revealed per se, instead of like telling stories with it or what it was a point of like, well, now I need to exercise my creative control for something to stop them from doing something that no one had any idea that they weren't supposed to do until I told the internet.
Yeah. She gets a lot of backlash because she does a lot of that stuff where she comes out to appeal to a fan base that has rallied around her because it seems on the face of her creations that she's extremely open-minded and progressive, though apparently she's
Wicked
not.
hates trans people.
Ooh,
so...
She doesn't like trans people though, but she has
no way, JK.
friends because it appeals to her fan base who has, I mean, if you look at myself included, when you see fanfics about Harry Potter, and I mean, it's a lot of it is LGBTQ. I mean, I've written so many Harry and Draco stories throughout my life as a Harry Potter fan, but yeah, but I mean, the way she goes about it, and then even like, okay, so now we know he's gay, but then she doesn't want, and I don't know if it was Warner Brothers or her who said, well, we're not going to even hint at it in the movies when she decides to throw the 2 characters of Dumbledore and Grindelwald into Fantastic Beasts, which is a whole nother thing. So yeah, I have issues with JK on how she does that stuff.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. I didn't realize the chat also felt strongly about that.
Because Davey made a comment about it's how it's the hype, right? It's not about the story. It's like people hype it up, like, oh, there's an LGBT. I think the reason that's more the media hyping it up because they, there are people out there who want to see characters like them still, and they may not get to see them in not just as like, certain typecasted characters. They just want to see them as people. And when that happens, they get excited and then they want to, hype it up. And that's
like Disney, her doing that similar to Disney being like, guess what? On Onward, we have a gay character. They have 2 lines.
Yes, or even Josh Gad's character of Beauty and the Beast. Oh, well, now he's LeFou's gay, but only like very little. Okay,
right?
Like,
queer baiting.
Why bring it up at all? Just let the story be, and we'll see it. It's not hard to miss.
Thank you for all the happy anniversary, guys.
Yeah.
And Melanie, you have been told to finish that story.
What story?
The story you're writing. You just said you planned.
Well, I was thinking to start a story.
Right now,
is my mic better?
On air, live.
I think you sounded fine.
You're good. You're good.
Well, thank you for the encouragement. If Omar keeps working on his script, right?
You got it, baby. Near-mint condition, I think we all have the right to be represented. I think we all deserve love. I think it hurts representation when someone baits a group.
Oh, I can agree with that.
I agree with that as well. Yes, and J.K. Rowling is a huge...
I grew up in a time of superheroes where they were, primarily white. There weren't a lot of Latin superheroes. There weren't the Latin X-Men. The closest thing we had to a Latin X-Men was Sunspot, and he was from Brazil. So we didn't even speak the same language, right? So I I get attached to characters, right? And I've always said that about myself. That's just me speaking. But the one time that I remember seeing how, a character portrayed on the TV really matters to somebody was when we went to see Spider-Verse. We were sitting next to a group of little kids, and the little I want to say he was probably like 9 or 10, something like that. He told his dad, it was a little black kid, and he was like, it's really cool to see somebody like me on the screen. And I was like, that really touched me, right? Because my entire life, I felt like I don't need somebody to look like me, and I still feel like that. But that's just me. I don't speak for anybody else. So I think it's wonderful that now there's quite a diversity out there. As far as like compared to like even 20 years ago. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as an adult, I still get those feelings about stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was lucky I had anime growing up because there were people like me. But I remember, like, I cried in front of Terry Moore because, like, one of the characters, like, she has a body type like me. Her sexuality is like mine.
She looks like just like you, though.
I've never seen anyone like that. And I got emotional. I was trying not to, just trying to talk to him, like, oh, I really appreciate this character. But then I was like, I've never seen anyone like me. Just like...
It is nice to see certain characters that look like you and act like you. And I've seen those more in books and TV shows. Being that quirky kind of girl now is not, to be.
Sorry, Asian Johnny Depp.
Asian Johnny Depp, you made me choke up because that was funny shit, dude. He said all I had growing up was short round. And then he was also stereotypical in Goonies because he was Data in Goonies. It's the same character.
But man, somebody mentioned earlier, what if they remade Goonies?
I hope that.
I've never seen Goonies. Add that to a list of movies I've never seen.
That movie is brilliant, and you can't remake Goonies. That would be. I tell you what, I'd rather them fucking remake Scarface than remake Goonies. That's how strongly I feel about that.
Yeah.
Kenneth has asked this question. Make sure we get to it. Oh,
sorry. Here you go. We're both
Oh man. I don't know, because I keep buying those books, but they weren't numbered well.
I'm a big fan of Chuck Dixon's run, and I like Gail Simone's run. That to me is the best of Birds of Prey. However, there's 3 trades for Chuck Dixon. I really
enjoyed Rebirth. I know a lot of people didn't. I really enjoyed it.
Who wrote that? It wasn't Simone. It was somebody else after that.
I liked the New 52. I liked Rebirth. I liked all of it. I really liked Rebirth, though.
See, Jessica knows what's up. Goonies never say die. What was that?
Goonies never say remake.
Yeah.
That'll be a T-shirt.
That could be a meme.
We were watching something, and I could tell at the corner of the television. I'm like, they're watching Goonies. I can't remember what it was. It was my daughter and I. We were watching something.
That's
I don't remember either.
Me watching The Professional.
Or Back to the Future. Yeah, we just finished Back to the Future 3 the other night.
Oh, you're right. I know that.
Back to the Future.
I haven't signed by them. I feel really stupid now.
You went and met them in Chicago.
Thank you, Jessica.
Sorry. My ADHD makes it that I forget things a lot.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's me too.
My short-term memory and just overall memory is bad.
Yeah.
Here's a good question for everybody. From my boy, Bob the Goon. Man. Do you think the Snyder Cut will save the Justice League as a film?
I don't think so. And I bet people are going to watch it and it's going to suck. And they're going to be like, oh, shit, we've been campaigning for this for years.
They're still going to say it's best, it's better, even if it is worse, because they have to validate themselves and they can't go back now. They can't back down now.
Have you all met fanboys? We don't back down. We don't give a shit if we're wrong.
I've never been a Zack Snyder. The more people are like, well, you remember Zack Snyder directed this and this. I was like, I've not been a fan of a lot of his work. So I guess I'm not surprised, if I wasn't, I don't know if I really will like the cut or whatever.
Monster Squad is excellent. I got to introduce my daughter to that last year, and yeah, that's up there with me, like with Goonies. I love Monster Squad. I still quote, my brother and I quote Monster Squad all the time.
Jesse said, I feel like it can't be worse.
I mean, honestly, it has a chance to be potentially good, but like I didn't have a bigger problem as a lot of people did with Justice League, though. People really hate that movie, and I was like, it's actually
just
pretty
not
fun.
Good.
I don't know. I thought
I liked it better than Batman.
I still
if any of you would watch the 4-part YouTube videos I keep asking you guys to watch that shows how it could be better, then you'd understand. But none of you watch it.
Well, all those movies could be better, though. Even Marvel movies.
He described.
I mean, you realize though
movie.
the next step is the George Lucas recut of the Phantom Menace.
Never should be allowed.
You know, all that studio interference.
Send that man home.
I mean, they're also the new Birth or Suicide Squad, right?
They're doing a Suicide Squad movie too.
A completely new one.
Yeah, with I guess more of that Joker that we were promised, and then everyone's like, "This is a terrible decision."
Well, it was supposed to be a dark Joker, and I have to stop for a second because David Codd. I also am a fan of Sucker Punch, and I don't think I didn't know people hated Sucker Punch.
Movie.
Right?
I remember enjoying it.
I don't think it was a good movie, but I liked it.
I didn't like it.
It's fun.
I just remember really hot chicks fighting with swords and guns. Like, was there a plot? I don't think so. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it wasn't for
Yes,
me.
it was the same plot as Return to Oz.
It wasn't my demographic.
I like Return to Oz. Do you guys think Darkseid was never got an absolute? The animated movie was awesome. I don't know, Phil. I don't know why I never got an absolute. Maybe it's too. He got an omnibus, but maybe it's too many pages.
Luis has an interesting question.
Yeah.
For all of us.
Honestly, I wish I had better advice about it, but I don't. I love the idea of setting a budget. Not to bring the ADHD back into it, but people with ADHD are notoriously bad at that kind of thing because impulse drives my life.
I'm going to go ahead on
I
record
wait
and
until
say
I
that
feel
everyone's
guilty
bad
and
at
I
that.
stop.
I just look at my account and say, how much do I want that piece of clothing? How much do I want this comic book that people are talking about? And I just decide from there.
And it's hard, Amanda, because you and I have a lot of similar interests.
We do.
And so, it's not just geeky stuff. It's not just books or video games, but
exactly.
I also want clothes. I also want makeup. I want to buy
that stupid
plants
time iron.
and I don't know, house stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's this weird, okay, how am I going to balance it this month? How bad do I need this? How many of these do I need to buy this month?
But I haven't bought one yet. So
Man, I miss the library, Jessica. I miss it.
Yeah. And then Omar, you.
I don't talk about this stuff.
I'm going to say that's how you maintain your collection. You sell stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm constantly selling things.
That you have.
I was going to say the one suggestion.
And Melanie's a good conscience about it too.
Sometimes.
I don't know. I don't know what he does.
We're not having this conversation.
I trust him because we're not hurting for money.
Yeah.
So, he's great, really great with it. So I don't know.
One thing I will say is don't get a friend like me. because I'm the type of friend. I think Amanda texted me just this week. Should I buy Annihilation Omnibus? And I'm like.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Goddamn right.
Now it came in. So that was a couple weeks ago.
Maddie and Dan have also texted me should I buy this?
Already in the plans,
yes.
Ray. Already in the plans.
Yeah, but that goes back and forth. I also texted you. Did you get this? Did you know this thing's out? No, I didn't.
Oh, and bought. Maddie does the same thing with me too. And
my husband is. He encourages me a lot. He's like, what are you going to do with the money? Money's meant to be spent. You're going to die and it'll be gone. I was like, all right, well. I bought, except for buying this record player, because he's like, you don't need that. But now that we have it, he's like, oh, this is pretty cool.
I was going to get you a record player, Maddie.
That's what we were going to.
Yeah, that's what we were going to get you for your wedding gift.
Because
it's okay.
You love mine, and I'm like, you need one.
Yeah.
So nice. Here you go, Dan. You haven't said anything in a minute.
So on that question, read Daredevil. That issue comes up in Daredevil once a fortnight, and how. Frankly, it's been hit every which way, in Daredevil in different runs from different writers. So I think there's a comprehensive treatise there on it.
She-Hulk is very much focused on representing. Superhero powered individuals.
Well, and yeah, that's true because that Daredevil doesn't focus on that so much. It focuses more on the who was it? Mark Waid's run. He did a there was a whole thing with like a laughable, like, oh, we're at the Supreme Court in 2 weeks. But the story itself was pretty good. And then, with the rest of it, though, I mean, there aren't, to my mind, and granted, obviously, I'm less deep in comics than pretty much everybody else who's on right now, but I can't think of any other character for whom their day job is a major factor. There are a lot of millionaire playboys in superhero. I mean, except for like,
well,
Clark
someone
Kent,
brings up
right?
Spider-Man because Peter Parker takes the pictures of himself, right, and then sells them. Like, is that unethical? Like, I've seen that.
I love that question.
And think about Superman.
He needs
too.
some money.
That is completely ethical.
Poor kid.
See, he's very poor.
And see, this is where I draw the line. If I were to get superpowers, I think I would have immediately become a supervillain, because I'm like, I'm not going to take pictures of myself to make money. I'll just go rob a bank and then help people with that money.
No, you just strike a licensing deal. And then
Yeah, I mean, and that's the best way to do it. Like, look at Booster Gold. Because like a lot of these stupid
Oh, he's got
like,
little NASCAR brands on him.
You look and they don't have a lot of money. Because, yeah, they're superheroes, but that's it. So they have to find some other way, either like book deals or something, to make money. Because you just can't.
In Infinity Nexus, I like Daredevil long before I even thought about going to law school. So the two aren't necessarily connected, but
here, it's probably a good time for
I'm gonna
jump off and go up to fit Tina in.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop Andrew too, because I got it.
Hi, Andrew.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. See y'all later.
Where can people see all of us to get Maddie and Amanda
on this channel?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night
live Annihilation. I'm so excited. I now understand Maddie's love for Rich Rider. Okay.
My man, my husband. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Maddie. Bye, Amanda. Hello, Andrew. Wait, Andrew, I've got a little intro clip for you, too. I'm not really sure what you're into anymore, but I kind of figured this one. It's just the classic, like... Wait, it's the planet. I kind of figured Rob would be late, so what's up, buddy?
Not much. Just I'm just hanging out in my studio. I did a little cleaning up, and now that I've had a little extra time, so trying to set up some of the equipment that we've collected over the years.
You're so full of shit.
Yeah, I know.
Is that a crane? That's a crane.
Oh yeah. For all those wonderful intro shots where you swoop down in on the panel. I know fans have been requesting it. So
in case you're not familiar with this face, because he doesn't really get in front of the camera that much, this is Andrew. He is the guy that does the editing on our panel videos. So whenever all the intros, all the goofy ideas we throw at him, he somehow manages to put together and make us look a lot funnier than we really are. So this is Andrew.
It's a lot of fun.
He's been working this whole podcast or this whole show to make us funnier.
That's right. Yeah,
Andrew, you're not doing a great job.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Before we go any further, I gotta give a shout out to this motherfucker right here. Less than 150 viewers. The comic industry was killed by grifters like us. All right. So on that note, ban that motherfucker, Melanie. Peace, dude. All right.
What?
So
I didn't follow. Sorry.
I'll take care of it. You go
Okay.
ahead and ask Andrew questions.
I was thinking these nice things for Andrew that I was going to show.
That's right. Nice.
That you're cute, silent partner, and great editing.
Aw.
There you go. Okay. Did Chris Evans do a good job portraying Captain America? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow, that's all we have to say. Yes.
Yes.
Like, yep, he did. Sorry. We have such a simple answer. Andrew's house is one big green screen. Oh my gosh.
God,
that
I
would
wish. Oh
Guys,
man,
so is Omar.
It'd be nice if
keep
you had a
telling
background
people.
right now, but all that stuff's in the way, huh?
Well,
I know, right?
by the way, I have never booted anybody from this channel. And I've been fucking like, I get made fun of and stuff, and I don't care. I got thick skin. But don't come in here with your bullshit. Speaking of bullshit.
I have no idea.
What's up, Rob?
Wow, great segue.
Wow. Hello, everybody.
Speaking of bullshit, what's up, brother? Oh, wait. I got something for you, too. Where is it? There we go.
Aw.
My man.
That's the shirt I'm wearing today.
I love it.
I can't turn it off. There you go.
Oh, okay.
So Rob,
that's the rest of the show.
Don't know, Rob, have you ever told the story of how you had a Legend of Zelda wedding?
Yeah, I can talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. So this is how I came down the aisle. Dun, 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 dun.
Wait, holding that?
No, so the Legend of Zelda, I think you all know, in case you don't know. What's up, Mentees? How y'all doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Rob 64.
I'm a big fan of The Legend of Zelda. Big fan of Zelda, as is my wife. And but we also have people who aren't gamers in the congregation, so I couldn't just play straight up 8-bit music while we walked down the aisle. So instead, what we did is we played an orchestral version of famous themes. So we're walking into the theme, and it's your typical married wedding vow. But when we walked out, we in fact were playing there's a super mix of The Legend of Zelda 2 and the overworld of Zelda 1, etc. So it was all orchestral. It came from Smash Brothers and a live concert that we had mashed together and played this huge thing. So it was awesome. It was all the gamers, including Melanie and Omar, were like, "Oh my God, it's so great!" And then all the old people were like, "Well, Bobby, that was a really nice music thing that you were playing in the background." Like,
It's pretty.
And
it's music.
Yep. And the cake was I think it was a Hylian shield, and the girl got a temporary tattoo, and I got tattoos, and it was dope. So there's
and the treasure chest opening sound.
The treasure chest, and man, those are good times. Good times. And I think everyone here. Sorry, Dan, I didn't
say it was when you were putting on the ring, right?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
That's right. Da-na-na-na. That's the ring. I told Fran to set it to X, Y, or B, or Z so it took effect.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, Zelda's still obviously a big thing. It's probably one of the major influences as far as me and being a game designer and producer and things like that. Just so you know, even though I'm wearing a Pac-Man shirt today,
I'm wearing. Look, I got you. And actually, I got this in Spain of all places.
Really?
It was
Spain. I'm like, I like that.
It was Pac-Man's birthday, a
so
couple of days ago.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you. This is a segue. Thank you. The reason I'm wearing check it out. Epic fail. The reason I'm wearing my Pac-Man shirt is because yesterday, May 22nd, was the 40th birthday of Pac-Man being released. So it was on not Suguru Iwata, but a different Satoru Iwata, but a different guy. Taru. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing his name. I'll get it in just a second. Leave your comments below in the description. This guy.
Hang on. Are you telling me that the Empire Strikes Back and Pac-Man are fraternal twins?
Is Empire 22nd of May?
It was this past weekend, right?
I thought that was maybe okay.
We are living in this weekend.
Is it still this weekend?
Yeah, we're living in this weekend. I don't know how that.
Yeah, so it's the 40th anniversary of Pac-Man. They're doing a Twitch thing where you can play Pac-Man live with a bunch of people at Twitch, what we should probably try and do. There's a bunch of documentaries, and because I have Pac-Man at my house, I made sure children were playing Pac-Man today. You're going to love it, and But yeah, so yesterday, and I wore my Pac-Man belt buckle and my hat.
But you're gonna take off your pants, dude. I
do have Pac-Man underbritches on, but I'm not going to show that to the stream. We want that to be
hilarious.
Rob, has anybody beaten my Miss Pac-Man score on your tabletop yet? Because I know at one point Fran and I were heavily competing.
It was it was between you and Fran. No, that was Galaga.
She's bested me by now.
You and Galaga. So
that was Galaga. Yeah, you're right.
Galaga, right. I think she might have toppled your Galaga score. You might have the Miss Pac-Man score. I'll go look. But Kemper, our buddy Kemper, he has the Centipede score. That's still him. Keith has the Strider score, so I can't wait.
I still got the King of Fighter whooping your ass score. That's all that matters. Who's got the Mario? I wonder who's won Mario Kart the most out of all of us. Because that's one.
That really.
No. I don't know, Rob.
Yeah.
Omar, you gonna get the green arrow by Mike Grell Omnibus? Hell yes, I am.
Hey. Okay. Are you done?
Yeah.
Zach had a good question for the Visible Andrew. I like that nickname. It was about what movies inspired you to get into film editing.
Ooh. Oh, man.
Do you want to think about it?
I'd have to think about it.
Let me come back to you.
One that comes to my mind right away would be Terminator 2.
Oh, nice choice.
Wow,
Terminator 2, absolutely. Yeah.
I was thinking more practical effects like Monty Python
That
and the
wasn't
Holy
a 2,
Grail.
Rob.
That definitely influenced some of our early grade school and high school movies that we made.
You think?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Can we do for Patreon your all's movies from high school?
Oh my
No.
God.
To Kill a Mockingbird 2, 2 birds with 1 stone.
Hey, that got us an A+ in English, advanced
And
English too.
I would have praised you, but that had nothing
Crime
to
and Punishment 2 is on YouTube.
Crime and Punishment 2 is out there if you can find it. That's right.
Yeah, I mean it's it's got like 8 views, so good luck searching for it. But
Blade Runner.
Here's Zach. For him, it was Blade Runner and Old Boy.
That's classic Old Boy, right? Not the remake. Just out of curiosity, because Old Boy has the best fight scene in that hall.
The hallway.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hallway scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Oh,
Wasn't
and I
the-
didn't come up with the name. That's their name for the sequel. I think it's pretty witty. Who came up with that name?
That was me.
That
You think
was
it was
you?
Matt Thompson? No.
wasn't it 2 birds with 1 bullet?
He wanted to name it 2 birds
yeah.
with 1 bullet. And then at the end, he got to use it. He's like, that's how you kill 2 birds with 1 bullet.
Okay, that's right.
Zach says it's the classic.
Good man. Yeah, Old Boy, dude.
BBC
I love that
All-Star
movie.
likes it too.
I like that whole trilogy of Vengeance. The Vengeance trilogy is solid. So Rob is our video game guy, if you're not familiar with him, but I'm sure you probably are. He's kind of like what I do with comic books. That's what Rob is in the video game world. And he actually works in the video game industry as well.
Yeah, I'm a producer at a company called Gun Media. So if you ever played Friday the 13th or Layers of Fear 2 or other things I'm not allowed to talk about, that's our company. So that's pretty cool to like be able to do stuff, actually work in the games and see the business behind it. And it's also one of those things where like on one end it's like, oh cool, I work in video games, but on the other end it's like, oh, I have to deal with working in video games too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely some of the things that I was doing before are some of the things that I do today. Like the other day, Andrew, you appreciate this. I'm deploying cloud service. Like really? Like
Ooh.
Yeah, like okay, my job hasn't changed.
Hauntings from your past. Yeah.
So but
well, on the note of deploying cloud servers, I gotta jump off here and go finish repairing Lori's engine. So
Okay.
What?
Totally.
I feel like a hero because I'm getting Melanie's bike tire replaced. You're replacing an engine? Like on a vacuum, right?
Repairing.
Like on a vacuum cleaner, right?
It is shooting oil out. So I gotta go fix that.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can do that.
Yeah, it may be a strategy kind of like that. But I'll see you guys later.
Bye,
Thanks
Dan.
for 4 years. And y'all take
Good
care.
luck.
Later.
Good,
See you, Dan.
Oh, I forgot to show Dan. I found the most amazing Dan shirt. It's a picture of Optimus Prime, and it says at the top, "But baby," and at the bottom it says, "I can change."
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll put that in the link in the description.
Well, how about Omar can steal it?
I'm still in that one.
I want to talk about this.
This is from William. Rob, are you looking forward to Ghost of Tsushima?
Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima. It's a sucker punch game. Oh yes, I'm absolutely looking forward to it. So if we've talked about this before, I'm really looking forward to The Last of Us Part 2. Can't wait, super stoked. But right up there with this is Ghost of Tsushima, and they had Sucker Punch did a stream about 18 minutes of how the systems work, some of the battles, navigation, the open world, riding your horse, shooting arrows and swordplay, and it looked so amazing. So yeah, that comes out July 17th, I believe. I think that's right, July 17th, and Last of Us 2, I think it's June 19th. So like they're going to be 1 month apart. So yeah, I'm super stoked for Ghost of Tsushima.
What did Sucker Punch do?
They did Infamous Second Son. Let's see. I'm trying to look at my library of titles over there. They've done a bunch of things in the past. I think they may have done Spyro. Maybe.
Professor sent it to God level of dad jokes.
I missed that then.
Yeah, you can't go to bars and pick up chicks with those guys. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he's a dad. Go,
dude." I'm gonna wear the shirt. The next time we do a Transformers episode, and we can all get back together, I'm wearing the shirt.
What's your top 3 game genres?
Top 3 game genres. I think that would be number 1 is we're gonna go backwards. We're gonna go backwards. I can never just pick one.
Rob can't just pick.
I just can't.
That's why it's 3.
Thank you, Mel.
You don't have to be in order.
Mel knows me. Mel knows me. Mel knows how my brain works. So I think the third one would be platformers because I always love action, Ninja Gaiden, Mario, those type of games. I love those type of games. Second would probably be adventure games where you get your 40 or 30 or 40 hour quest, collect items, get stronger, but you're still in direct control like The Legend of Zelda, right? And I think my number 1 is probably RPGs. I get a lot of joy out of classic RPGs. As we speak, not just a second ago, earlier today I was playing Dragon Quest V, and before that I was playing Final Fantasy VII, and before that I was playing Dragon Quest XI.
Oh, today?
Not today. But
I think you were this more wow. What time did you get up?
No, I have 3
It's his
children.
morning routine.
Yeah. He's
I have 3 children, so no, there's not enough time to play this game. It took me, I'd say it took a solid year to get all the way through Dragon Quest XI. Yeah, in fact, because it came out in September, and I played it whenever I could. I think I beat it the preceding December. But I've been playing Dragon Quest V after I played Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was after I played Final Fantasy VII, which was after I played Dragon Quest XI. And I've been having a ball playing these old school RPGs. It's a lot of fun. And maybe that's because I forgot fighting games. Can I switch?
No.
Too late. You took your hand off the piece.
Hang on. All right, let's change it. Action adventure games, fighting games, and RPGs. There we go. That's what I'm going to say. So,
Andrew, what about you? You like the puzzles? Yeah.
I do love puzzle games.
See the world in Tetris pieces.
Oh my god, I was playing old school Game Boy Tetris last night.
You were?
A-type.
That's right.
Yeah. Those are my favorite. I love, for me, I think my top 3 would probably be the kind of longer Zelda type games. That kind of thing. But see, I also love a game that I can just jump into and jump out of real quick. So like Tetris or something like that, or maybe like Mario Kart or some kind of racing game where you can play it for hours, but you can also just play it for 10 minutes if you need to. Because there are times when it's I need to play something, but just for 10 minutes, that's all the time I have. I would love to dive into something bigger like Breath of the Wild. But man, that's an investment.
How many hours would you say Breath of the Wild is? Beginning to end. Melanie, you've beaten it. Rob, you've beaten it.
Oh, I don't remember how many hours. I don't really pay attention to hours.
I do.
It's probably best that you don't.
I think I put 60 into Breath of the Wild, but I could have easily put a lot. I think it took 60 for me to beat it. If I had been, I'm also really fastidious about looking for everything. I could have beaten it in 40, but I think I've ended up putting 100 into the game because there's just so much stuff to do.
155?
155. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think the most I put into a game, that's a good question. What's the amount of time you put into a video game? Hours. Hold on. Before I answer that question, I got to give props out to Andrew. As you guys may know, we do video game parties, video game Armageddon. And we did a Tetris one where I stole DSs and linked them all together, and we all played 8-player party Tetris DS. And humble brag here, I'm daggone good. Sorry about that. That's my grandmama. I need to call her. I'm really good at Tetris. I'm daggone good at Tetris. When I was in school, I was the guy who Tetrisized everybody. That's how I beat everybody. Andrew comes in and destroys me, the dog, the neighbors. He destroyed everybody. And it wasn't even a close contest. So Andrew's being very humble when he talks about, I'm pretty good at Tetris. No, Andrew destroys at Tetris.
Mm-hmm. 300 hours. You guys are awesome. I love that.
Monster Hunter.
I think 115 hours for me in the Skya one was the most I ever spent. I remember
you played it while talking on the phone with me.
Yeah, well,
no wonder.
I remember
we were only dating.
She would call me up and she'd want to talk about her day, and I'm like, I'm trying to grind. Okay, I can do this while I'm talking.
Yeah, you can talk.
And Melanie goes through this 30-minute spiel, and I'm like, and she's like, are you listening to me? And I'm like, yeah, baby, I'm listening to you. She's like, are those buttons I hear you pushing? Are you playing a game?
I got good hearing.
And I was like, no, I'm listening to your story at school that happened today.
that happened. That thing that happened.
She was like,
all guys, we have to be given a pass. Like, especially like I said, I'm playing Dragon Quest V, and I gave myself a little boost because I have 3 children, so ain't nobody got time for that. I cheated. I'm gonna be real, but still, even though I only cheat a little, I'm at the end, and the monsters are like, so yes, like I'll be talking or doing work, and like that game you can play with one hand. So yeah, you can grind and talk on the phone and do work at the same time. It's okay, Mel.
Here's a really good question from Ismael. Omar, if you could save one omnibus from your collection from being snapped by Thanos, what would it be? Same question to Rob with video game. Andrew, what would you save? Melanie, what would you save? Besides, your family, kids, and pets. One thing you would grab. And photo albums, whatever. Phones, whatever. For me, it would be...
the question is omnibus.
Okay, well, for me, it'd be...
They want only omnibus from
well, then you can save one of mine.
Okay.
I'll go with Uncanny X-Men Volume 1. My very first omnibus.
I'll get you Volume 2.
I get Volume 3 instead, because that.
Okay.
All right.
Picky.
I like the stories in 3 first. Oh, that's the one. Show why, Rob.
No. That one's in the other room. That one's sealed. But pretend this is the sealed one. So I would say the Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
Gold card.
Yeah. Gold card Zelda.
Andrew, what would you say?
Gosh, man, that's a tough one. If I could just save one thing.
Yeah, the dog.
You better save that NMC hard drive.
No, it's
right.
One of your books. Like, how about broaden it to just any of your books?
or game or media.
Don't you have the Criterion Collection of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or something?
I don't have that. I do. No, actually, see, that's the thing. All of my stuff, most of my stuff is digital now. Like, I don't have a lot of hard media anymore.
What's up?
That'd be a tough one. I'd have to like save my laptop or something.
Yeah, you have to save the cloud.
I'll just save my laptop. There we go. And that way I have a camera too. So that's a bonus.
Jesse, I don't know. What was your question? Welcome back. Favorite Berserk character? Guts. Come on now. Wait for it. Wait. I got this. This guy. Come on now.
Where did he come from?
I drew it really quick.
He was prepared.
Right. I was prepared.
Apparently, yeah.
Melanie, who would you say? Who's your favorite?
Guts.
Good answer.
He's a good role model. He's my hero.
Really?
Yeah. He doesn't give up.
Badass.
He doesn't give up when these. I mean, his life is hell, and he doesn't give up.
Yeah, I'd say my Incredible Hulk 181, first appearance of Wolverine. Yeah, good answer.
I think anime has definitely taught us, Melanie, that no matter what, never give up, never surrender. When you're stuck in a jail cell and the only thing you have is your little tiny...
Oh, that was so much fun. When we were trapped in a jail cell and we had a little drill.
Drill.
Taking tougher Gurren Lagann.
Never give up.
Guts is eye candy. Melanie likes him when he's got the gray hair.
Oh yeah, the scar.
Spoilers, sorry.
You know what? Because it reminds me of Orin for Final Fantasy X. That's why.
How do you feel about Peter David She-Hulk, and do you think it could get a complete collection? But they didn't even finish out the Dan Slott She-Hulk in complete collections.
Why can't you just be Hulk? Like Thor's Thor, why can't she just be Hulk?
Well,
don't ask stupid questions like that. I didn't come up with the character. Anyway,
because somebody already has the name Hulk.
So does Thor.
So actually, Rob brings up a good point, but that's another story. They're good. They're a lot different than Dan Slott's run. So Dan Slott's had this really comedic tone to the character. It didn't take itself seriously. One of them was even a mockery of like the Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline. But the Peter David was a little more serious. It's more like a little road trip, but it was still pretty good. I don't think it'll ever get a complete collection. Well, I don't know. I maybe after the Dan Slott omnibus it will. So I take it back.
Jesse says that Stan Lee wasn't the most creative person in the 70s. Thank you, Sarah. Amen, somebody. I have 3 daughters.
Was that your question? That's not a question, Jesse. That's a statement. I make those all the time.
I was thinking 60s and 70s Stan Lee was like the man. Especially 60s.
Well, there's a lot of controversy behind like Stan Lee. Here's the thing I will say about Stan that's phenomenal is that he actually gave, his artist credit. I mean, he could have been like Bob Kane, right? And been like, who's Bill Finger? Like, I don't know who that guy is. Created Batman. And look how long it took us to finally see DC give Bill. I mean, he's been dead for 20 plus years. And now the books are finally getting credits for co-creating Batman. But what Stan Lee did was, he was like, no, I did work with Steve Ditko. I did work with Jack Kirby. Mm-hmm. He had brilliant ideas, but I think you're probably talking about, are you talking about like, because the way of his writing style of just letting the artist draw the story and then him getting it back and then writing in the dialogue and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
60s.
60s Lee's, yeah. 60s Lee by far had the best ideas, yeah. I didn't know Peter David did She-Hulk. Yep, he finished out Dan Slott's run. Somebody asked earlier what our favorite novels are.
Novels.
Yeah, those are books without pictures, Rob.
Start over. Not to sound completely ignorant, but so there's Harry Potter and the Twilights and the Lord of the Rings.
Your wife reads a lot, Rob.
Did you just say Twilight? You did not read Twilight.
Hold on. So if I have free time, I'm not going to read a book. I'm going to play a video game because I have a mountain of shame that's huge, right? But when those movies came out for all the books that I just talked about, now I had read like Lord of the Rings and all those type of things when I was a kid, but like newer stuff like Harry Potter, no way. Game of Thrones, no. Well, so my wife reads.
It's not called Game of Thrones. Fake nerd.
The Book of Wind and Air and Ice.
Yeah, whatever, man. I can't believe you brought up Twilight. I don't think you've ever read Twilight.
So I watched all these movies with some of my friends, and I was like, "Oh, these are good." And the whole time we're watching this movie, they're both like, "The book is so much better. There's so much depth." All right, I will read the freaking books if you all shut up and let me enjoy, these movies. So I read them all in one shot. So that's the only experience I had with reading, other than like when I was in grade school. But
what did you read? Twilight?
Read all those, all the Harry Potters, and what's the other series? The big series that came out.
Why did you read Twilight? Were there women involved?
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense.
My wife. Yes. But hey, it was good.
Okay. What about you, Andrew? Yeah. What's favorite novel, Andrew?
I didn't say it was a favorite novel though, but I just said it was good reading.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't know if I'd have to think more about all-time favorite, but one of the more recent ones that I've read in like the last decade that is definitely my favorite would be the Kingkiller Chronicles. Name of the Wind.
Yeah, that's getting.
And what was the second one? Wise Man's Fear.
That's getting I think an Amazon adaptation or something. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, and I'm anxiously awaiting the third one.
What about you, Melanie? And I see a really important question for Rob and I in there. What about you? What's your favorite novel?
I already picked the next question, so hold your horses. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Mel, you read a whole bunch. You're a reader.
Yeah. Actually, we talked about this last week. There's different genres I like. British comedy, right? Like Hitchhikers. To Kill a Mockingbird is one of my favorite books. I still wouldn't give your video an A.
To Kill a Mockingbird 2?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. But it has nothing to do with the story.
T-shirt.
Oh, you know what? Vampire Hunter D has some really good novels. I love that guy's writing. Christian books, Madeline L'Engle, C.S. Lewis, Chronicles of Narnia. I love nonfiction books about like psychology and the brain. Classics. Yeah, a bunch of different types. And Omar, years ago, I bought you The Wire and Homicide on the Streets.
Oh my gosh, The Wire, the best thing ever.
Did you read those?
Homicide is the book. It wasn't The Corner. It was The Corner.
The Corner,
book,
okay. Yeah.
I read The Corner. I haven't read Homicide, and I need to because that's what Homicide: Life on the Streets is based on. Except the book is called Homicide: Death on the Streets.
Well,
but my favorite book of all time is The Giving Tree, hands down.
The Giving Tree.
I love that book.
I gave you a copy. You wrote a nice note in it.
You wrote me a beautiful note in it.
Oh,
sweet.
Go ahead, Melanie, if you want to ask the question. For
Narnia absolutely is a Christian book. Yeah, absolutely. Go read all that. C.S. Lewis, he is on point, on top of his game. If y'all could pick anything prepared to be your best friend within the romance one.
Read it out loud. For those that are driving, they can't.
Oh, okay. If y'all could pick any fictional character to be your best friend within their world or have a romance with. Romance.
Romance.
Oren. I know yours, baby.
Who do you think?
Bill Dandy.
Oh, yeah, I want to hear this.
Beldandy, yeah. Good job. From Oh My Goddess. Who did you say, Rob?
Fantasy 10.
I'm going to think about this.
That's tough. Just one. Come on, man.
Let's see. Best friend.
It's not like you've never thought about it before.
Right. Come on. This is the kind of stuff you think about in the toilet.
I mean, I don't know.
Or you're playing and you're crushing.
I think I crushed on Zelda in Skyward Sword. I thought Zelda in Skyward Sword was a pretty cool iteration.
There you go.
But playing through Final Fantasy VII Remake, like I thought Tifa and Aerith were cool, like back in 1997. But like they really fleshed out both their characters. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm going to say those two in the remake. That's what I'll say.
Okay, Andrew.
I'm going to go the best friend route, and I think I'm going to pick.
Safe.
Best friend route.
Andrew.
Yeah, sorry, Omar, you're out, man.
Princess Peach is the correct answer.
Right. No, I was thinking somebody from Star. I was trying to think as a kid. I was trying to think of who I identified more when I grew up on some classic Star Trek, and it was either Kirk or Spock. So whichever I identified with, the other would be my best friend. But I can't think of which one. I feel like I bounce back and forth between the two of them a lot.
Oh.
So it's going to have to morph.
You're going to go with Kirk
what?
and Spock?
Morph from X-Men? What?
No, not more from X-Men.
All right, hold on. I see two comments. So one, Laura Croft, an American and that British accent. Like, just say water. Like, yeah. And Melanie, you know this. Rukia from Bleach.
Oh yeah,
I don't get it. And wait,
I don't get it either.
Which Lara Croft? The original one with the big missile boob, pixelated boobs?
No. The new one. Like,
or the movies. The movie.
No, the movie's fine. I'm talking about the new games, like Shadow of the Tomb Raider and whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, the new ones, like again, they have the great British actress and like just her character. And it's not all boobs, even though I keep doing this. It's not all boobs. Is that she's just a really interesting character. Yeah. But Rukia, I think I still have an action figure that one of you two at the top gave me of Rukia. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I gave you a figure of Rukia.
Yeah. Oh man,
Rukia was strong.
Yep.
Somebody was asking what our King of Fighters team would be, Rob. I already got mine. I know mine. Terry Bogard.
Andy Bogard.
Terry Bogard, Leona, and Kyo Kusanagi.
Leona.
All right, for me, it's Kyo, Iori, and
so cheap.
No. Kyo, Iori, Robert. Yeah.
Roberto Garcia.
Robert Garcia. If you and I could fusion, we would be Robert Garcia.
That was racist.
I didn't say Jaquan Garcia. I said Robert Garcia.
It's Lara Croft, not Laura, you idiot.
He did write that.
Rob.
You know what?
No.
I got it. I got the answer. Cosmic Fantasy 2. You remember Cosmic Fantasy 2?
What question are you going back to?
The chick you had a romance.
Stop. No,
Laura,
stop. That's not even the question.
Laura from her, because you saying Laura and Laura, like the reason I say Laura rather than Laura is because of Cosmic Fantasy 2, the girl's name was Laura. And I got you hear it a whole bunch. And she was fine. So there you go. No, the goddesses from East. That's it. That's the alias.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Rick Com.
Okay. Hey,
Peaky Blinders?
What?
Oh, right.
I'm assuming this means British comedy. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Peaky Blinders is British comedy?
Isn't it?
I've never heard of it.
No.
It doesn't look like a comedy. I haven't watched it, but I'm pretty sure no.
So when I was a kid, I watched with my parents, like Red Dwarf and Are You Being Served, Keeping Up Appearances. I love those.
Oh, Life on Mars is freaking brilliant. The British one. American one's
kind of
yes.
Bad. Oh man, I freaking love that show.
Yes, Coupling.
Oh my god, yes.
Coupling
was good. I remember Coupling.
I like Coupling.
Peaky Blinders is not a comedy, Rob. Much like his video games, Rob keeps his streaming media sealed and doesn't open them up.
I know I watched Peaky Blinders, but I don't remember what it is. Is that the one where the dude's a gangster? Is that what Peaky Blinders is? Because we watched 2 seasons of that.
How did you watch 2 seasons and then think, oh, this is so funny?
Because White people.
It's pretty violent. Oh, you were laughing at the accents. Oh, they're so funny, but they're dry. They're dry humor. Red Dwarf.
The IT
yes.
crowd. Faulty Towers. That's what I'm thinking.
They did.
I remember Faulty Towers.
What?
Wow.
How do you get Faulty Towers confused with Peaky Blinders?
It's all British.
Brutal British gangsters are hilarious, according to Rob. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Project Viking, for the super chat.
Appreciate it.
My family did watch Faulty Towers, and I think at that time I was in high school and I quit watching TV with my family. So,
IT Crowd's also really hilarious too. So good call. And it hit kind of close to home because the stuff that they dealt with,
yes, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that was way too close to home. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Omar, if you could create an Amalgam Universe character. So for those not familiar with Amalgam Universe, that's when the DC and Marvel had a crossover. And then because of something that happened in that crossover, they created this Amalgam Universe that only lasted, 12 issues or one issue, like one shots. So there was like Dark Claw, which was Wolverine and Batman put together. Spider, yeah, you think
that.
Batman could get hotter. Spider Boy, which was Superboy and Spider-Man. So I just literally thought of this: Rogue and Power Girl. I don't know what their powers are, but oh my gosh, can you imagine that? I would be drained. Like
what you married to, bro.
She knew what she was in for. Like that, I would be willing to. Rogue's absorbing ability. Like I would take one for the team and just go out that way. That would be. Oh my God, Rogue and Power Girl.
I don't think that's taking one for the team.
I'm taking that one for myself.
For you.
We'll call it Power Rogue or something. Oh man.
Wait. See, he's saying Rogue Girl. Oh,
or Power Rogue.
I like Power Rogue. Yeah.
Yep.
Woo! Now you got me like thinking about that. That's pretty cool.
That's slap bang.
Thank you, baby. Savage Land's Power Rogue fan art incoming, my man Matthew.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that was totally taking one for the Omar. I got this, guys.
So Omar, talking about like
how noble of you, Omar.
In Marvel crossovers, I have a coworker who said, and I totally agree with him, Superman is too powerful. What are your thoughts on that?
Your coworker's an idiot. There's no such thing. Like Superman has a weakness. Yeah. It's Kryptonite and Lois Lane and the people that he cares about. Did you not learn anything from Batman versus Superman, the crappy movie?
Oh, I think I watched that on a plane and went to sleep.
Yeah. No, seriously. Like Superman has a weakness. Like it's almost like, he can get hurt by Kryptonite. Yeah, he's super strong, but you could almost say Batman is literally better than Superman because of his brain. Like his brain doesn't ever give up on him. He can back up his brain when he dies so he can reboot. I'm not even joking. Like it's part of this.
Did that happen? Okay.
Batman, rest in peace. Go understand Grant Morrison.
The argument was that because Superman is an alien and he was born with superpowers, he doesn't have like the same things that people who were human who got their superpowers and have to deal with. Okay, my secret identity isn't Batman. My secret identity is Clark Kent. So it's like being born with those special abilities and then your disguise being the alter ego, and it's the reverse for Superman. It's like, okay, those are pretty valid statements there. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's valid, but still, he has enough major weaknesses that I think it balances out.
Yeah,
sure.
He's definitely overpowered, but much like I would say Goku is more powerful than Superman because Goku doesn't, other than the fact that he's fucking ignorant, doesn't have as many weaknesses as Superman.
Goku's only weakness is food.
Mm-hmm. He's got to eat. When he gets hungry, he can't.
No, he's got that Saiyan pride, man, and then he's got and he's stupid too.
Did you say Saiyan pride?
Okay, what are you? What that word is saying? Even my children
in America
talk, and she knows how to say Saiyan.
Y'all watching an English dub. Goku's weakness. Yeah, he is very naive.
True. Here's a senzu bean. Why are you giving him a senzu bean? I want to make sure he's at top straight.
Right. He's like, he gets excited. Oh, we got another powerful bad guy that's coming to destroy the Earth? Shit. Just cracks his neck and pops his knuckles.
Andrew, did you ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
I didn't.
Dragon Ball or anything?
No. I mean, I kind of absorbed some of it when Dan was watching it so much in college.
You were with Dan when you were doing the website.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'd kind of seen each other. He had moved out by then, so he wasn't my roommate at that point. So I didn't catch as much of it then, but he definitely he got into it big time in college, and so he was on a lot. So I kind of like saw it secondhand, but no, I never watched it.
I like Freddy's comment here. Goku knows how to fight. Superman's just strong, ultra strong. But it's not like I can go into the backyard and dig up kryptonite either. Super Saiyan Jin.
Saiyajin.
Saiyan Z.
And then somebody had a really good question here. Yeah, it was classic rock. I remember Superman getting beat up by Muhammad Ali. That's right, Neil Adams.
Well, because Muhammad Ali is the greatest. So, yeah.
What was that found in? I don't.
It was in the
remember
comic book.
That might be like what?
It was a single issue they were selling.
Okay, gotcha. Nice.
Look at that.
Magic. Again, I can't dig up magic. Doomsday. Okay, that's valid.
And Martha.
Martha.
Why did you
And
say
somebody
that
mentioned earlier telepathy. I didn't know that.
Like,
I don't really read Superman or like.
Yeah, you see, like Goku's like, he's careless. Do any of you watch the videos from Superpower Beatdown?
I've seen a couple of those before.
Not
regularly.
I do not.
No.
Not regularly.
Zach says I prefer Dragon Ball over Dragon Ball Z. It's a fair statement. A lot of people do. It's Dragon Ball's more comedic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freddie has faith in you, Rob. Doctor Strange learned magic a few weeks, Rob. I believe in you.
That's true.
Do it.
Hit on that, Rob. You've got more time now, right?
No, I have less time. You have to deal with 3 monsters rather than like do everything else.
1976 was the issue, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I didn't know that Superman got beat down by the greatest. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I kind of want to go find that.
Cesar's asking me if I know Green Lantern by Jeff Johns Omnibus Volume 2 is getting reprinted. Previews is showing new printing with no cover. I haven't heard about this until like 2 weeks ago that I just found out that it was out of print, or at least out of stock. So as soon as I find out, I will let you know. What accent is Amazing Melody from Australia? Are you Australian, baby?
From an Australian. Maybe
Yeah,
that person is.
What is your accent, Mel?
That's
Eastern Peekville, Kentucky?
Yeah, Kentucky. Except when I ask questions, I like practice doing it in a British accent because that's the only way I can do a British accent is to go up at the end of a question. And when I was teaching high school and I'd ask questions, country high school, and I'd ask questions, they say,
Kentucky.
Are you British? Kentucky. And I was like, no, I just now naturally ask questions like that because it's fun.
Close enough.
Texas.
Infinity Nexus reviews. Close enough.
Texas.
Man, be good, Manuel. It's good to see you in the chat, man.
Manuel. Yes, I want to check out the Maneater RPG because I think it's really cool to be a shark and eat people. I think that's fantastic and hilarious. So I'm going to buy that game.
Thoughts on the characterization and story of Spider-Man in the PS4 game? It's a better portrayal than Slot and JMS's run. Wow, that's a strong statement. Okay, I've only seen my cousins play. I haven't played it because I don't really get a chance to play video games that often.
You have the game? If you don't have the game, I probably have a copy I can just send you.
I'll play it in 2 years because
Okay, if you want that, like me playing it, I don't know the comics as well as you do. Obviously, I only know movies and things like that. And I thought the story's fantastic, but I don't know how it would compare to other and what pieces from the comic were taken and used in the game. But I understand it's like different births, the multiverse, the video game birth. Didn't Slot?
Slot, yeah. Dan Slot did write some of it. Rob's favorite comedies.
Yeah, we both hit show at the same time.
Peaky Blinders and Jaws.
Dude, it's hilarious when those people get eaten.
I don't think he understands comedy. I think Rob needs a laugh track. You guys watching the new Harley Quinn? I know out of all of us, Maddie's watching it, and she loves it. And she's like, "You got to watch it." And I'm like, "Okay, I promise I will." But we all did. At least Melanie and I, Amanda and Maddie, we all watched Stargirl, which is freaking phenomenal. So I can't wait for volume. What?
Did you watch Birds of Prey?
Like the old '90s TV show, or the? I'm sorry,
you're talking about the movie.
Yeah,
the movie. Yeah, this? I did.
Okay. So I was walking through the store with my mask on, and I saw, like, I actually watched Suicide Squad on a plane, and I saw some other Marvel, whatever. So I saw this and wasn't sure if it was any good or not. So,
I mean, you can. That's just my opinion. I just didn't like it.
The animated series looks really good.
Oh, DBZ All Stars said earlier, Dragon Ball is a better story, and Dragon Ball Z has better action. I think that's the
absolutely.
Correct. Yeah, that's it.
This is a really good question because I don't really get into why I stopped reading comics. So it's from DBZ All Stars. He's asking, Dear Mint Condition, I gotta know, what was it about Onslaught that had you quit comics, but you hung in there for Chuck Austin's run with the underage Lovin' and Sugarknot? I think it was the time that it was coming out. I literally I think I was almost, it was getting there. It was I need to take a break from comics because they are just getting ridiculous. There's so much. Honestly, I probably should have left with Claremont left, but I stuck to it because I really like Fabian Nicieza. I love devoted. I'm a devoted fan now, but I love Fabian Nicieza's script, and Scott Lobdell eventually grew on me, so I stuck with it. But by the time he got the Onslaught, the whole, Bishop's whole reasoning for coming here was to out the traitor, right? And they were like, the traitor's going to be Gambit. He's going to be the ex-traitor. And then when it's revealed, spoilers for anybody who hasn't read Onslaught, when it's revealed that it's Professor X, and then they have the flashbacks of him being in love with Jean Grey instead of being the father figure to her.
Yeah, that's gross.
I was just like, you guys have fun. I'm out. I'm clocking out. So literally my last issue is the Professor Xavier, it's the homage to the Uncanny X-Men 139 138 where Cyclops is leaving the team, but it's like Professor Xavier wheeling away from the X-Men. And I was like, farewell Xavier or something like that. I'm like, I think that's a good ton of stuff.
Bye Del Boy.
Bye Del Boy. Hey, be good, Del Boy.
Andrew, what's your favorite X-Men character?
Wolverine.
It's a good choice.
Yeah, it's always been Wolverine.
Do we have
I'm not even asking Omar.
Do you have pictures of Andrew dressed up as Wolverine? If you don't, I have those.
Ooh,
that's what I thought you were gonna say because
What about you, Rob?
With my real working claws.
Yeah, you had the claws.
And we're a danger to everybody.
I can come up with a picture,
especially at the Halloween parties, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I had made these claws that I fashioned this like metal box to put on top of each arm, and then I covered my arms up with my shirt, and it would shoot claws out if I propped my wrist just right. But I remember towards the end of the night, the mechanism that would hold them back started to wear out. And so I can remember at one point in particular, I think I was lifting up a glass to toast somebody at Halloween, and they just popped out and just about sliced somebody in half.
Well, good thing you weren't drinking.
Melanie, who's your favorite X-Men character, Melanie?
I mean, I guess I wished it was somebody different, but Wolverine. I mean,
Rob?
I was thinking about this too. I wish Tina was here because I kind of like Cyclops, but I think the answer is also Wolverine. I really like Wolverine.
Oh yeah, guy's great. There's a question here. I thought it was okay. This is a really good question. So both Melanie and I reviewed Spider-Man Life Story. We both loved it. It was freaking awesome. What other character? So Rob and Andrew or anybody in the chat, Life Story is where Chip Zdarsky takes Spider-Man, the character Spider-Man that was originally created, in 1961 or 2, and literally ages him in real time. So each issue is 6 issues, and each issue is a decade. So it starts in the 60s when he's a teenager, the 70s when he's in his 20s, 80s, 90s, and until he's an old man in modern time. And it encompasses all the story arcs. You still get the Venom saga, but it mixes in Kraven the Hunter, and it's got Maximum Carnage. But it's done so well. Absolutely loved it. And he's teamed up with Mark Bagley. And the question is, which character you guys think would work another Life Story? Captain America would be boring because he was frozen for a few decades. So, issue 2, you're going to be living he's still laying in the ice. Oh, this is a boring issue. I see what you did there.
You're a completist. You would buy it anyway.
I would buy it. I'd buy the variant.
Well, I can't skip when he was frozen.
I can't skip when he's frozen, and I'm reading the fish's thoughts in the.
What fan are you?
I'm trying to think who would make an You know what?
I'm gonna Logan.
Well, Wolverine would be fun, but you know what? I really want to just mess it up because I like complexity in my story. So I'm going to say Cable, because if you have Cable, he's a time traveler. So his age, you know, when he's a different age, could be like whenever the hell they wanted to. They could be in the distant future. They could be in the past. I think that would make a really awesome story. The Watcher, that's a really good answer too. But we kind of got that a little bit, right? We got that in the history of the Marvel Universe by Mark Waid. If you haven't read that, do yourself a favor. It's freaking amazing.
I was writing our life story in a little notebook. Me and you, baby, and
for the girls to read.
The last. Oh no, not some of it. But the last thing I wrote was like Lydia. Lydia was about to be born. I suppose that's why I stopped, right?
When Lydia was about to be born, and everything went to crap.
Oh, whatever. It was awesome. Hi, Tina.
Hey.
I just want to say...
You look so professional. Wait, did you just come from work?
I did. I literally just got off work.
I like your glasses.
Oh, thank you for joining us. You're so dedicated. I just want to say thank you for your Omar cool videos, both a blessing and a curse. Blessing introducing me to new comics, and curse to my wallet. I have to buy them because I fear about a print. We did an episode on FOMO.
Sure did.
FOMO. Yep. Somebody was asking what the best ongoing series right now is. I'm going to give it up to either Venom or Immortal Hulk. Both series are freaking fun for characters that have been around for so many years. Now, before Tina comes in, I've done a little intro for everybody. So Tina gets her own. Let me see if I can find. There it is. So everybody, this is Tina. Yeah, what's up?
Rebirth.
Nippleless chicks. That's where it's at, right, Tina?
Hey, I mean, that's what Clamp was all about.
Whatever you're into.
Actually gave us some. So Ramuku Takahashi actually, in the earlier part, showed some nips.
Thanks for that brief history. We should do a video, Tina. The history of nipples in manga and anime. I think we could do it.
Them? Yeah.
Okay. I would read it in that video. I won't have anything to add.
Rob, could you recommend great RPGs for a newbie on the PS4, Nintendo Switch? I think both Rob and Tina could recommend some because they both play video games.
Yeah. Let's see. So if you want to go for action RPGs, I'm going to say all the big name stuff first. Final Fantasy, Fire Emblem, Kingdom Hearts, The Legend of Zelda. Those are RPGs, action RPGs, things like that. Undertale is something that can't be stated enough how fantastic it is.
And the companion Deltarune is actually really good, even though the full game hasn't been released.
And that's free, isn't it, Tina? Deltarune.
It is. So you can get that on Switch. It is free. It took me maybe about an hour to go through with an optional boss. So.
And I would recommend going through Deltarune after
Undertale.
My favorite RPG of probably the decade is both on PS4 and on Nintendo Switch, and it's Dragon Quest XI. And there are reasons why that I wish I could talk about, but I can't. But if you like JRPGs, like it really, literally doesn't get better. If you've played any of the other previous Dragon Warriors, that's Dragon Quest games, there's a lot of homages out to classic stuff. But even as a modern game, it's just fantastic. The things they do story wise make it like after you go through. We had asked the question, what's the most time you put into a game? For me, I think I put in 160 or 180 hours, which is insane because I have 3 children and jobs and all kinds of things. It's wonderful. Ni no Kuni is also a fantastic. There's one up there.
The first one I would say is a little bit better than the second one.
Yeah. I don't talk about Ni no Kuni.
So yeah, if I could play one RPG, assuming that you like the style, I would play Dragon Quest XI. Play that; that'll keep you occupied for well over 100 hours. And then from there,
Persona's a really good one, especially Persona 5 Royale came out too. Let's see if you like Nier Automata. I always say this wrong.
That's not really RPG-y. Definitely has RPG.
That's definitely JRPG.
It's something
and the replayability is high because you'll get different endings depending on what choices and what you do.
That game, it didn't get game. It did it? It got a bunch of awards. I don't think it got Game of the Year. It should have. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can I just say, Omar's looking down, Andrew's looking to the side.
I'm paying attention. I was writing. I was writing down ideas. Okay.
All right, hold on.
On what to play?
I've pre-ordered Dragon Quest 11 on Steam to show my support of Square. I did too. What's better, Dragon Quest 8 or Dragon Quest 11? I'm glad you asked that question. 11. And once you should play 8, and then you should play 11, and then you'll see why. Oh, thanks, Josh.
We're crazy kids. Yay.
Josh, appreciate that. Your mustache is fantastic, by the way. Oh, The Witcher. Yeah, so I'm not much of a...
What's up, Josh? That's my buddy, Josh. Melanie, that's Joshy Bear. Chris moved over there. Remember, because of Josh, he stole my Chris. That's Josh.
Oh my gosh! Hey, Joshy Bear, I thought about you the other day. Wow. Well, I'm so glad you're on the chat. Hope your life's going well.
He's a good guy. He comes in every once in a while. Huge Venom fan.
Cool. That's really neat.
They need to make Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross. So yeah,
my daughter was asking if it's available on the Switch.
Yeah.
And I was like, not yet. She was also asking me if Danganronpa is available on the Switch because she's gotten into that series, and I'm like, not yet.
It might be. I know it's on the PlayStation. They have the trilogy, the main collection on PlayStation 4.
Rob isn't much of a Witcher fan. I mean, American RPGs, it takes me a while to get into them. So like, it took me a while to get into Skyrim. It took me a while to get into Witcher. And I will say, of all of them, Witcher is probably my favorite Western style RPG. It's a legit good game, but I'd rather play Zelda.
Yeah, Witcher is a phenomenal game. Have I ever played it? No, my wife has. Skyrim, she's obsessed with Skyrim, and Dragon Age is another really good American style.
We should have said that in the beginning. Dragon Age, absolutely. And I'm a big fan of Easts, so there's a new East coming out.
Wise, I'll make you mad.
My daughter is obsessed with Danganronpa. I can't say it. Makes me feel old. She's obsessed. And we're thinking about getting it for her birthday, but like, I feel like she could handle it, right? What do you all think?
She's 10 years old.
There's lots of murder going on.
Okay, that's fine.
People.
We're okay with that.
Fine.
We're weird.
Yeah.
There is people like taking sexual? People's body parts. A little. Mention, it's.
This is for your oldest.
I don't mind the body parts, or that's fine. She likes writing psycho characters and playing around because it's her complete opposite, right? She's a very mature, level-headed girl.
Josh, congratulations! You're gonna be a dad. Sorry, I'm chiming in late. Sorry, I'm sure everybody already congratulated you.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, man. I remember when I found out I was gonna be a dad. I had to leave the state, and I came and started over a new life here with Melanie.
What?
I'm kidding.
No, he's not. I have pictures.
Melanie's not laughing.
She is not. She
just because it wasn't a funny joke.
Whoa! Hey now.
All right.
You can't be funny all the time, Omar.
Melanie got dropped. There you go.
Yeah, you can't. I got control, baby. You can't be coming in here making fun of the guy. Didn't you see me boot that dude earlier? That's a warning. That's a warning.
Sorry, Mel.
I said you have a miss only. How about once a month? Once a month you have a miss, and that's pretty good.
I got your back, Melanie. We're gonna go start Near Mint Condition 2.
Y'all can start good ass condition or whatever you get.
Pretty good.
Well, cool editing
Fair
and
condition.
Fair condition.
Fair condition.
See,
there. That's a good joke.
So this has been a lot of fun. We got everybody in here, old cast and new cast, not age-wise, old and new. And everybody's been great in the chat with the exception of one dude. Like, God, man, I'm still fucking rage about that. I don't know why. That really got under my skin. Omar, because of your video on your most read graphic novels, I just purchased Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck. Dude, it's worth it, man. I finally gave in after 100th time you mentioned it. Happy you were right. Dude, one of the best books ever. Like, seriously. And if you don't like Life and Times, then you're probably not gonna like Carl Barks. You're probably not gonna end up liking the rest of Don Rosa's stuff. So, but that's as good to me as it gets. It's wonderful.
I need to get that for the kids. The kids have been reading. They read the Super Mario Adventures and the Legend of Zelda Adventures, and I need something else that's more kiddie. So
I got you, man. I'll take care of you. Don Rosa's Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck. So, Eric, my boy that looks like Tom Holland over here, any appearance by Maddie, she did. She was here for an hour. Like, so if you want to see that, you can go back and
smash that scroll bar.
Omar, I'm going to give Middle West a try because of your recent price. Dude, it's fun. It's really good. I really liked it. And I've heard a lot of feedback on that video, so I think I'm going to be making more of those hidden gem videos. I know people have been asking me for a long time, and it takes me a long time to finally decide, okay, let's go ahead and make it. So I'll keep making more because there's a lot of books out there that I want people to know about. Even Marvel and DC have hidden gems that I don't hear anybody talk about.
Omar, I see a hardcover of Complete Life of Scrooge McDuck 1 and 2 on Amazon for $40. So
yeah, you get that for your kids. Let them tear that up.
I'm serious because, like I said, what I've seen is sometimes I think the girls they're being really quiet. I'm like, okay, they're sneaking their 2DSs and playing Animal Crossing. No, they've grabbed some comic that I have and they're reading it. I'm like, okay, I need to capitalize on this. So thanks for reminding me.
Omar,
hey baby.
Ryan is confused.
I watched last night's a video last night. Are the Don Rosa basically the Bark ones redrawn? No, okay. So Brian, let me explain really quick. I've only done a video on Carl Barks, but I'll do a Don Rosa video. So think about it like Claremont X-Men, and then when Claremont left, Jonathan Hickman came, right, and took over the book. Maybe that's a bad explanation because Jonathan Hickman kind of erased everything. Don Rosa was a fan, right, of these Duck books, reading the Carl Barks stuff. So when he became an artist and he took over the books, when Walt Disney asked him to take over the books, he was like, this is a dream come true. But to Don Rosa, only Carl Barks Duck comics exist. Everything between Carl Barks and Don Rosa did not exist. So that's one thing to keep in mind. He only acknowledges the history of Duck comics according to Carl Barks. So DuckTales, don't even mention DuckTales around Don Rosa. He did write an episode of Tailspin, but that's another story. Even though a lot of his stories were taken and made into DuckTales.
DuckTales is really good.
Yeah. But we won't tell Don Rosa that.
I know. Oh, no, you don't.
No, you
He'll
don't.
take a marker and write loser on your face or something like that. He don't care. He don't give a damn.
He's an old dude.
I wonder if he's seen the more recent one because
it's
amazing.
I ain't even gonna bring it up. But anyway,
yeah.
So he's a historian first to Duck comics and then a writer, and he is phenomenal. So a lot of the stories that he takes are kind of like follow-ups to what Carl Barks did, or using characters that only Carl Barks did. Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck is just the timeline that he did, and it's wonderful, of all the Carl Barks stories. And there's a few things he modernizes, such as like
the racism
that you can't get away with. And he even notes it. He was like, this was a product of its time. You know, it's how Carl Barks, or how the world, you know, view people from this country, because we didn't know what the people look like. I mean, Marvel Comics did the same thing. DC Comics did the same thing. So, and sorry for my long-winded answers, but yeah.
It wasn't long-winded.
Tina, did you come back from a meeting looking as professional as Tina? That's what my boy Shonda calls you.
Straight from work, literally.
Professional. That's your cosplay outfit right now. Professional ass Tina.
The doctor was FaceTiming me. I work at a medical practice, and he was FaceTiming me because little things that we needed to wrap up that I like jetted out on.
Sega don't know how to run a video game company anymore. No, they do not. People love Sonic Mania, and Sega are like, no sequel.
Okay,
pretty much.
So let's talk about this. How many people here saw the Sonic movie?
Nope.
I haven't seen it.
I heard it's really good.
Amazing.
Okay. I heard it's really good. I haven't seen it. I've heard it's amazing. I heard it's really good.
I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it actually is a pretty good movie. So you should, especially with the kids, sit down and watch the Sonic movie. It's legit. Sonic Mania, right over there. Sonic Mania is a fantastic game. Now Sega has said that they are super stoked to announce something Sonic E. So I would love to see what the Sonic E thing that they is. Surely they would capitalize on
Sonic Spinball 2.
Stop it.
Hey, the pinball was pretty fun.
Like, yeah, so people are interested in Sonic right now. This is nice, a great time to strike. And they said something cool, Sonic is coming. Do I have faith that they'll do it right? I don't know. But at the same time, this is the same Sega that looked at Streets of Rage 3 and were like, okay, let's get the fans.
Streets of Rage 4 is freaking awesome.
Fantastic, right? So Sega has acknowledged, all right, sometimes our fans do a better job of things than we do, which is where Sonic Mania came from, which is where Streets of Rage 4 came from. I would like to think...
We need a golden axe. We need a new golden axe.
Well, I mean, did you see that Arcade 1-Up is releasing a 4-player Revenge of Death Adder cabinet? Like, I think Sega is figuring it out.
Who collects all these? I feel sorry for the guys that are like these video game arcades, like I am with Omnis. Like, I can't imagine how do you. Man, but that's really cool.
Another one is going to go sit on the curb. So, I mean, she's the boss. What am I supposed to do?
Rob, did you ever see the animated 1999 version?
Love that movie.
Oh yeah.
I love the dubbing. This British weird accent. I love it. Oh yeah. It's great animation.
Yeah.
Music.
I've had the girls watch like the one with Jaleel White. I've had them watch like those episodes. Like, dude, man, Sonic I get the feels with. So I'm hoping Sega is not sitting on their laurels. Like, as I understand the business of video games, so you can't announce something too soon. I understand it. So I'm hoping that we will see a film sequel or an animated sequel or another game, a fan game, something 3D, something. We just have to wait. E3 is coming up, so surely in the E3, that's when we'll know. Thank you for
happy 4th anniversary from Anthony Garden. 1,000 videos.
Yep.
Just
there
for
are
fun.
1,000 videos?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a lot of them.
Snuck up on me.
So just for fun, we're still way off. This is a really good question. But what would be an appropriate 1,000th Omni from Marvel? I'm texting David right now. That's why I was talking to him a little bit. From Marvel, or the best epic to celebrate the Range's 10th year anniversary. You know what I would love, Anthony? This is just me. But I would love for them to announce a new line that they just acquired. Like something awesome like, hey, everybody, we just got the rights back to Transformers from IDW. We're going to release the first omnibus as our 1,000th omnibus and the first epic as our 10th anniversary epic. Something really cool like that. Or like,
I don't think that would happen, though.
Micronauts or Rob. You don't know Peter or David Gabriel. We can make it happen.
It's also not just up to him, right? You have to think about sales, and it needs to be something for the fanboys.
Well, here's the thing: like with the 300th Marvel Masterwork was Howard the Duck.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And remember, I had a contest on this channel.
Yeah.
Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. But. Damn.
You got Gru the Wanderer.
That's such a see things like that and Gru could actually be doable because Sergio Arjones actually owns the rights to
say that again.
Sergio Arjones.
That's so hot.
So
hot.
Sergio Arjones is hot. I've never heard anyone say that.
No, the way you said it.
Oh, okay. It's because I can roll my tongue. 1,000 videos. Omar starring in 990. Not true. I wasn't on the one last night. That wasn't me at all. That was all Tina and Maddie. Wait, but still, you may be right though. Omar, any news from David about JMS Volume 2? Yes. The re-release Spine. No news yet, but they are looking at September 2nd, meaning that it could have the old classic look to it.
Lionheart, yes, Lionheart and Chanda. Chanda Suk. We're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade, and Turtles in Time were great games. Double Dragon, Golden Axe, these classic beat 'em ups. I don't understand why the video game companies went away from these co-op games. So Streets of Rage 4 is 4-player local co-op, 2-player online. Is that right? I think that's right. Yeah, 4-player local, 2-player online. I'm hoping now, since we all been cooped up, that local co-op becomes more of a thing. But we've talked about Arcade 1-Up machines on this channel before, and like I said, there's a Golden Axe one that's 4 players. The 4-player Turtles one is Turtles and Turtles in Time. It's a little pricey at $350, but it's fantastic. The first time I had people over and this game set up, we blew all the way through it. So if you're looking for a solution, I'm hoping that these things get more and more as we think we're starting to loosen up with being in lockdown. I'm hoping more and more local co-ops seems to be a thing beyond like Smash Brothers and things like that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how they transitioned to like MMOs from the like local co-op, because local co-op was pretty fun and advantageous back in like the Arcadem, but I don't think it really translated well into home console base. Like there's a few obviously breakout titles, but it just basically went MMO style. So.
Yeah, and like with the advent of the internet, and I sound like an old dude when I say the advent of the internet. With the advent of the internet, like sure, like the fact that like this is my brother and Omar, this is your brother. It's like this is what we did growing up. Like we played this stuff together, sitting in front of the table.
Oh yeah, we always talk about,
and we're like, all right, how can we play together? We got to do this over the internet. Okay, now it's time to. I need both options, like Halo 4-player split screen, Golden Eye play.
Well, I was gonna say, I remember Andrew being upset. He bought an Xbox One, and when he bought Halo 5, he was like, I can't play co-op on the same screen with my wife.
Yeah.
And I remember telling you, I'm like, no, man, you should have gotten a Nintendo system. That's what they're known for.
Both so mad about
it's so stupid.
The next time I say buy a Nintendo, buy a Nintendo.
Ridiculous.
Dane, I've explained this on the chats before, but I don't mind going over it. It's somebody from the Marvel office forwarded our mine and my family's like how we're spending our comic book day last year.
The video.
And, yeah, it was a video. And he watched it and he really liked it and was like, he thought I was a video blogger. And then it turned out I was doing like videos on Marvel collected editions, and I was talking about upcoming collected editions and the things they could do to like a little bit different to tweak the books collected in there. And then I was calling Marvel out like, why would you do this? This is stupid. Fix it like this, the way I say it, because I'm a fanboy on YouTube. Anyway, for some reason, he took that and was like, well, this guy knows what he's talking about. But you have really
good points that are logical.
Yeah, and
your passion drives you, but your logic.
Well,
I can't think of the rest to make it a cool statement.
Well, I was going to say,
your logic rules you.
And now, I'm comfortable enough with him to tell him I don't, if I don't like the mapping on something, I just feel comfortable enough to say, hey, maybe, that Excalibur really needs to be in chronological order. I wish I had someone like that at DC, because I've been getting comments on Twitter to try to get
Twitter paid it
to get a hold of DC to fix the JLA omnibus. And I'm like, I even talked to the guy over there, and he's like, talk to these guys, talk to this. I'm like, but it's your department, man. You should make the call. But I don't know. It's a different story.
He also, or she, I forgot the name, asked how you got started, how all you guys got started.
On Near Mint Condition?
Yeah, channel? Created, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It all started with a beer. All great stories start with a beer.
Yep, it did.
Hey, just like our first kiss. Jesus. It started with a beer.
The best stories start with a beer. I got Andrew and Dan and Rob to sit down at a bar with me, and I threw the pitch, and I said, actually, I talked to Andrew before I talked to anybody, because I said, I think we could throw in skits in there and we can make it work. But this won't work without you. So I need you to say yes before I ask anybody else.
Like we did way back in the day.
Yeah. Goofy skits. And then we eventually got to that. Now we have them opening skits. And then I said, but then we were like, what are we going to do? And then I threw it to them as a panel video, like we used to have a podcast. And then I said, now we need somebody that's younger and in touch with the youth. And none of us are in touch with the youth. So we were all like, and I'm like, I got it. So I called my girl Tina up, and I don't even know, like, she didn't even hear what I was saying. I'm like, look, I got this idea. I'm with my friends. We're going to start a YouTube channel. It's going to be, like, before I even finished my sentence, she was like, yes. Like, she was at work, and she's like, yes. Okay, I'll do it. I'm like, you going to let me finish? She's like, you remember that scene in Justice League when the Flash was like, my mom says I need to have more friends? That's what it feels like Tina was going to say. Like, I need to get out more and have more friends.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I introduced you to Maddie, And all
You did. Yep. Oh man, we're on 2 hours. I have overtalked myself.
My wife wanted me to remind you that you have D&D at 2:00. You big nerd.
You nerd.
And I was going to ask you to go pick up some wine.
All right. Well, and I guess that's my cue. That is my cue.
There's some sugar bait downstairs for you, but
we'll answer one more question and then we'll call it a day. This channel is great because everyone brings something different to the table. Yeah. You know, we are so passionate about the way we feel about things. We've gotten into some arguments before.
That's because you're wrong.
And I don't think
that's why we get in arguments.
Shut up, you idiot. Most of the times it's Rob and it's Rob and I getting into arguments.
Omar and I have known each other forever. Like I used to work at the video game store Babbage's, America's Computer Stop Quarters in the mall, and that's where I met Omar because he would come in and buy all kinds of random video games. And when you came into Babbage's, you didn't just like buy your game and leave. Like you came and we would talk, and I would get in trouble.
Yeah.
The gamers and I would be like, Final Fantasy 4 is much better than Final Fantasy 6. You're full of crap.
They're wrong. We all do a video for LGBTQ plus comic recommendations. Yeah, Maddie, that is all Maddie because that's what she loves reading.
Yeah, we actually have already, like, a few times I've joined Maddie, we've actually profiled a lot of comics that are LGBT deep.
Oh.
Nothing but Babbage's here in my life.
I'm glad Babbage's is still a thing. Include the minis like I remember. Oh, okay, they're talking heavy. Good to see everyone, especially Andrew. Will you be hosting a video at some point? Maybe focus on the technical aspects of near mint condition production.
I could absolutely do that. Yeah, that would be fun. Actually,
a long time ago, somebody asked like, "What?" I can't think if you worked on something professionally. So that's a good compliment to your editing skills.
Let me tell you what Andrew does. He makes our gobbledygook sound fantastic. I'll be like, Andrew, here's my raw, and it's just me like burping and farting and stumbling over my words, and it comes out, and it's like, wow, he's so well spoken.
It is, and I like molded and clay it into nice prose. Yeah.
Yeah, he takes like Rob's 10-minute segments and turns them into like a 1-minute segment. You don't know how much stuff he has to edit out.
That is actually harder than the gobbledygook.
Here's the thing. There's a few of us that actually pause in between our sentences, like Dan. Rob just keeps going. Omar just...
Well, Rob interrupted Andrew. He was going to answer, and then Rob's like, let me tell you, blah, 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 blah.
Here's the thing. Really quick, before we go any further, because we got to end this, but if you're now tuning into the channel, like, for the first time, like, during these last few months, and you watch our panel videos, like, we've gotten a lot better where Rob and I don't really interrupt. But it is funny, like, I made mention of this before, where it's like, it's really hard to edit Rob and I, because the way we speak, we just speak with, like, whatever's in our heads comes out.
Stream of conscious, stream of thought.
It is stream of thought, yep.
Yeah, like, I can't sometimes keep up with you two, because by the time I've formulated something to say, to the last thing, you're already 3 down past me.
And you're exactly right, because us doing this together is maybe be like, okay, I need to, because that is exactly how I get excited about something I want to talk about, or I want to give props, or I want to answer questions, right? And I want to give Andrew props. He took 45 minutes of something that I sent him and turned it into 3.
It's called mansplaining. No, it's not. I'm not mansplaining it to Tina. I'm talking to Rob.
No, that's different. Mansplaining is different.
I don't mansplain. I'm talking about X-Men, damn it.
Have these guys mansplained before to me for something that I already knew? Yes. Andrew's actually called him out before on it.
Are we going to do sexist stereotypes, miss? Can somebody go parallel park my car? Please.
Parallel park.
Please, let's continue the sexist stereotypes.
Me too.
And the best part about that is we all thought you were joking until you said, no, really, can somebody go parallel park my car?
But, Omar, can you beautifully put on a costume?
What?
And produce TikToks? So, parallel parking.
No, I cannot. I mean, I could try and give Tina a run for her money, but, it's not happening.
I don't have to on a daily parallel
now
park.
That is the term that we do here. It's nerdsplaining. Ain't no mansplaining going on. I don't even know what the hell that is. I just found what manscaping was the other day. I've been doing it for years. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. Check out our sponsor, Cheap Graphic Novels, where you can get cheap graphic novels up to 50% off. And yeah, thank you for being with us for 4 years, a month, a week, a day. If this is your first show, I don't know why you're watching, but
we appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
But seriously,
really everybody.
We wouldn't be here without you all. Thank you all. Don't forget to check out our Patreon. It's a great way to support the channel if you can do so. We have Near Me Condition t-shirts on Redbubble. So I hope everybody stays healthy, stay safe out there. Much love to you all. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
See you, everybody.
Again.
Bye-bye. Peace.